That's really childish to say it's only on me.
No, it's childish to lead
anyone
8
else,
women to slaughter
not
because
have
your
anyone
ego
else
is too
take
big.
responsibility for their actions. Nicholas, we asked you to platform us after you platformed counter narratives and you refused.
Max, I run a show called Review. You don't want your 8 victims on Review.
You platformed counter narratives, but you were not willing to platform the survivors. That is called milieu control. That is called milieu control.
MamaMax, let's go. First things first, what the f— I opened my thing and Smaggle's like, oh, you're not gonna believe this. Nerd City said that Max is very creative and his heart is in the right place, but he overthinks it to get attention for his stories. His marketing and hashtags have always been slightly misaligned with the goal. It's like, dude, I'm so sorry. This is the reason why Max was allowed to do the shit that he was doing. Useful idiots like Nerd City would downplay all of his actions. It's just crazy to me that it's happening right now. Like, now they're doing it. This is like, he has like Nick DeOrio-itis or whatever. He literally can't see that this is like unhinged. But there's a new video by MamaMax, okay? By the time this is like released, the other Mutahar video would already be posted. I took a little bit of time in between posting the first clip and the second clip because I needed to I had to film a segment to go over Mutahar's reaction, because at the time when I was doing it, and I had Nexpo on, it seems like, I can't say this for certain, Mutahar kind of waited till my segment was over. I don't know if it's true, but I know as soon as I started talking about something else, Mutahar just dropped a statement, and I wasn't going to go back and splice it in, so I had to go film it the next day or whatever and go over all the Mutahar stuff. So when you check the VOD, you're not going to notice that. It's going to go right into, as soon as the Mutahar stuff gets covered and we watch it, it just cuts right into the actual Mutahar segment. I spliced them together.
What's the name of the
History
the guy
will remember they
Keemstar
happened on the
Orbiter?
same night.
Nick DeOrio.
Also, ladies and gentlemen, thank you to Hellbent for creating my new Camden Gerard Davis Wiggler. Okay? My Camden Gerard Davis Wiggler, ladies and gentlemen. I am the vampire among us, dude. There we go, dude. Dude, I'm Camden Gerard Davis. Dude, there I am.
Today's video is the most serious I might have made in my entire career on this platform.
Why? Dude, whoa, he starts jorking it right in the beginning, dude.
Most serious I might have made in my entire career on this platform.
I love Max's like weird editing style.
Hello, guys and gals. Me, MamaMax here.
Hello, guys and gals. Me, MamaMax here, and today we're gonna have a oopsie doopsie live stream.
Here. And on January 17th, 2024, my best friend, my bro, Mutahar Anas, YouTuber Some Ordinary Gamers, created his most serious video he might have made in his entire career on this platform.
You know, it's like I'm so fucking I'm so far on the fuck Mutahar train. It's gonna suck to have to defend him in parts of this video, but it's like Max has like easy lobs here that he refuses to take from the parts that I saw from Chud.
By defaming me after asking for his help on one of the most serious of cases.
One of the most serious cases. Survey, can we see what the most serious case ever was? Can we find, guys, chat, can we find the most serious case ever? Hold on. I need to find this. Re-upload. We need to find the most serious case ever. Oh, there's so many. There are so many of these. Dude, I don't even know which one is it. I looked up MamaMax re-upload. There are so many of them. I don't know where. Dude, this is my favorite Camden Gerard Davis thing. Camden Gerard Davis, know your meme. Overview. Camden is a purported cult leader who refers to himself as a werewolf god, who is said to be allegedly responsible for abusing, trafficking hundreds of children. The allegations toward Davis were first shared by YouTuber MamaMax. Like, you literally can find the know your meme. That's how good MamaMax's fucking material was. That it's on a meme website.
Mr. Ori.
After asking for his help on one of the most serious of cases.
One of the most serious of cases.
On March 18th, 2016, Spencer, a 16-year-old girl from Wiley, Texas, mysteriously disappeared. Lured by the illusion of joining a supernatural family as a vampire on some random corner of the internet, she actually found herself ensnared in a dangerous sex cult led by a child predator posing as a werewolf god. The man had recruited hundreds of young children, subjecting them to sending CP, kidnapping, assault, and attempted trafficking.
Do I have to stop this?
Almost 7 years later, Spencer and the other survivors shared their stories with me. This video serves as their scream for action against their perpetrator.
Okay, so just to be clear, the prompt was...
Blaming me after asking for his help on one of the most serious of cases.
Okay, so you kind of get it? You kind of get what's happening here? Do you understand why this is ridiculous? Do I have to spell it out for you? Does my silence mean something?
Camden Gerard Davis. Leviathans are coming for you.
Okay, so I rest my case.
Thanks, Mutahar. I can tell by the red lighting that this is in fact your most serious video you might have made in your entire career on this platform. And this is my response.
Dude, this guy just... This is my response. I have pulled up Merriam-Webster Dictionary. Fucking Nick DeOrio 2019 Keemstar video vibe.
It's a video.
Maybe you should have made your most fucking, like, serious video you've ever released a brainwash your favorite influencer challenge.
About someone I and many in the community
Fraud is defined by dictionary.com as...
considered a friend. Today, I personally don't consider this person a friend. I consider them a liar.
This isn't even the Ethan thing. This is like, I no longer consider this person a friend. Not like I've never considered him a friend. I am being objective in this situation.
Max has recently made several videos, 3 in particular, making what I believe to be a mockery of these types of serious investigations.
My name is Spencer.
Like, the biggest thing I can take away from this, like, entire topic is that Mutahar is a fraud for not calling you out sooner. I don't know if that's really what you want to bank on.
I am a survivor of Camden Gerard Davis, the leader of a destructive cult that has victimized hundreds of minors. This video is our script.
Hey, I wonder, why are all these people blurred out now?
I recommend watching Nicholas DeOrio.
I'm just wondering, is it Mutahar's fault that all these people aren't, like, involved with the production of this video anymore?
Situation. Massive drama, in my opinion.
Because not only did they survive Camden Gerard Davis, apparently, they also survived your investigation, so...
Interaction.
A 16-year-old girl from
It's so weird. Why is this person blurred out? It's almost like they don't want to be part of the project
Wiley,
anymore.
Texas, mysteriously disappeared, lured by the illusion of joining a supernatural family as a vampire on some random corner of the internet. She actually found herself ensnared in a dangerous cult.
Yeah, this is just as funny as when I played it earlier. I'm sorry. This is like... Dude, this is not how you go about this. It's still not how you go about this. It's why you shouldn't do this in the future.
Led by a child.
Oh, dude, this is my favorite part. I saw this in Mutahar's video. He keeps referencing this picture as like, oh, like this is like he's being investigated by the police or something. Do you know what this picture is? This is him as a result of a traffic violation. This is a fucking, not a human traffic violation. This is a fucking mugshot from a traffic violation. That's not to say that I think he's innocent in any capacity. I couldn't possibly know that. Okay? But, like, every time this is used, it's like as a crescendo. And it's a traffic violation.
posing as a werewolf god.
How does this explain the cult? How does this explain anything? This is why people are mad. He is presenting these screenshots like they're damning evidences, and they are not. I'll say what the evidence appears, at least. It feels like there's definitely a bad. It's like
and
the
something
worst I can
Smaggle
see.
pointed out to me that I wouldn't even have remembered is that the video that he is showing is way earlier. Right? Like, Mutahar made his original video way early. And it makes a lot of sense, because this was the end stream. All of our coverage was done. I'd already released my Night Docs video. We were watching the leaked call together. So what Mutahar said initially doesn't necessarily mean that he can't contradict it later if his opinion changes on something. This whole video puts Mutahar against a future
What's the name
position.
of the guy, Keemstar Orbiter? Nick Oreo. Mr. Oreo.
And it doesn't charitably do that. It's like Mutahar in his first video said something that he didn't believe later.
How does this explain anything? This is why people are mad. He is presenting these screenshots like they're damning evidences, and they are not. I'll say what the evidence appears, at least. It
Victory lap. Yeah, it was literally a victory lap stream.
feels like there's definitely a bad. It's like the worst I can see is somebody taking advantage of people, emotionally, sexually, physically. There was illegal shit that happened, right? Now I'm finding out that there is evidence. There could actually be some serious evidence, I believe, hiding behind here that can cause some serious justice for anybody involved in the situation.
Like, MamaMax lives in a fantasy land where he thinks that if Mutahar and me just didn't make our videos, that he would have had a conviction by now. Or something. Maybe that's a little too far, but he thinks that this would have gone a completely different way if people didn't point out to him 3 videos in that he was completely fucking unhinged on this topic.
That feels that they've been wrong. Look, there are real people that I believe have
we were not the first fucking people telling him this.
been hurt by this. Ain't no way any dumbass is falling for no Vampire Twilight shit. And for that considering, I am giving...
Yeah, dude, can we get a Camden Gerard Davis Wiggler? Dude, I am. I'm a vampire werewolf god, and my Wiggler is.
my full support as much as I can. I would just want to come out and just be like, fuck you, I think you're all lying cretins. Whether that be emotionally.
I'm not laughing, bro. I'm howling.
Yeah, I'm howling, dude. I'm howling at the...
And providing.
I just want to say, I legitimately do not believe, specifically Spencer, at all. I don't. I absolutely don't. Her story didn't add up when we spoke to her. And I think that a lot of the stuff that Max has said about this thing is just unprovable.
What's the name of the guy, Keemstar Orbiter?
Or so
Nick
far
Oreo.
down the uncharitable
Mr. Oreo.
fucking territory that it's laughable. Right? I don't think this guy has fucking thousands of victims or whatever huge absorbent number that he used for it. He clearly trumped up the charges to a dramatic level that on the somewhere deep inside here somebody was fucked over. It's just caked in mountains of bullshit.
Whatever form of financial benefit that I can reasonably provide. That's all that I can do.
Dude, I'm fucking pay for that dude's defamation case, bro. there is
What's
no
the name
fucking
of the guy?
retribution.
Yeah, dude, I didn't even pull this up before.
Mr.
And
Oreo.
Camden spends a huge point talking about how we were mean to the victims and shit, and we were huge pieces of shit. Wait, did I say Camden? Max pulls this up. How we were awful to the fucking victim or whatever. Meanwhile, MamaMax dropped the hardest bar ever because I guess he doesn't like fucking Spencer anymore and leaked her fucking order to Taco Bell.
Why is Spencer claiming you're starving her? Just for context,
This is the fucking scam.
Okay, you get the point. But
I'd be so fucking mad at this point, dude. I'll just be like, listen, Camden, I'll write
it's
you a
these are
blank
the
fucking
approved
check,
jokes that we can make about her.
because this is not fucking cool at all.
It was so.
And back when we made those jokes in that stream, my opinion on her has not changed. I guess it's fair to say that maybe Max's has, after every person on the planet Earth told him that it looked like fucking Spencer was taking him for a ride, and then it turns out that she probably was.
So fucking heartbreaking hearing Muta sit there and say that.
Dude, Muta.
I'll gladly put money towards Camden's defamation trial. How do you think that it makes myself and the other survivors feel when you're saying that? It is okay to think that, but you're going publicly and saying that to everybody.
I don't even think that's the correct quote. I'm not even gonna I guess I could look it up. I thought he said that if it turns out to all be fake, he would pay for Camden's defamation trial. Is that not the context of Muta saying that? I feel like he didn't just say,
Nicholas,
I love
the
Camden
goat.
Gerard
Thank you
Davis,
for
and
the
I would
$5,
gladly
my man.
pay for his fucking thing. He did? Yeah, I mean, it's so obviously out of context.
else when you haven't spoken to the others. I'm just trying to understand, why would you do that without talking
Classic fucking Max.
to us?
Dude, this is the most viewed rape review on YouTube right now. Just to be clear, this is why I didn't want to platform her. Yeah, and that's the other thing. MamaMax wants his cake and he wants to eat it too. He's like, I think that Nick DeOrio should host fucking All My Victims and do a YouTube shock jock panel going through all of the things that they say. Just like releasing zero fucking evidence, spoken word testimony on my fucking platform, right? I want you to do it on the channel where you did the URR memes a week ago. That would be a great idea. Let's go and do that. And then simultaneously, when we go and do a group stream making jokes or whatever, it's the worst thing on planet Earth. It's like you were asking for them to be broadcast on my stream. What was your fucking thing in doing that? So when my chat said mean things to them, you could go after me and use it, like hold it over my head like you're doing this live stream right now? Well, of course I didn't want to talk to them. That's not what this fucking stream is for. As funny as the URR memes are, that like Hassan Piker thinks we just bring people on and rate them by how bad they were assaulted or something, which is ridiculous, by the way. We don't do that. That's not what this is supposed to be. These jokes hit a lot harder when she's not in the call. I'm not trying to judge a victim's fucking abuse story on my fucking show. That's weird. There are other platforms that are more equipped to handle serious topics like that. I'm gonna be honest.
This isn't a fucking Netflix show. This is a serious, heinous crime. Do you think it's too late, Nick,
That's not what a podcast is, literally.
to get Spencer and Camden on like a set, and I come out dressed up like Maury Povich, and we do this? For a serious topic like this, please stop the theatrics. Present this with the respect it deserves.
The 3D ultrasound Demi's Applebee's Max.
Alfred,
So yeah, it's literally just, hey, here's a time when Mutahar said this, and then here's Mutahar later having a different opinion. So
scans.
here's Mutahar making edgy jokes on a stream weeks later.
You confirm if there's a werewolf inside.
I'm seeing 32% of the fetus is still currently lodged in there, Batman. Like, what the fuck?
Of course, Master Wayne. I'll run this through the back computer. And that's what bugs me. Why are we not treating this with actual respect?
Because the police report states that there are allegations from her own mother.
Because you probably should have talked about this in a case-to-case basis. You could even combine it in some capacity, but explaining it as the werewolf god sex cult in a video about brainwashing YouTube influencers is probably not a good way to go about explaining this story to the masses. Tricking Moist Critical into covering your fucking, like, allegation is probably not the ideal way to push that story forward. But again, Max has always been like a clout-obsessed freak who needs like huge YouTubers to come on to like justify his moral crusades that he goes on, even when they didn't actually yield any results for years, when people thought he was putting people in jail.
Saying that there are allegations that are...
He's the pedo hunter who's never actually caught one. It's Scooby-Doo if they lost the ghost every time.
grandpa, like
Dude.
like essayed her.
Dude, I'm just sitting. No, dude, the fun. Like, dude, you know, every single person on this fucking call right now who's making fun of those victims has caught as many pedophiles as MamaMax. Every single one of them. Every single person who is making a joke.
One alike to Decent 7. You lost points when you admitted to being his Ghislaine Maxwell.
True. Yeah, but like that's the thing. It's like every single person on the stream who's making jokes has caught the same number of pedophiles as Max. The reality is that they just won't
What
give
would
the
the
phone
grandpa look
because-
like if they were black or Chinese, though?
That's it! I quit!
Do you remember the black or Chinese guy? That was funny.
Look, this is a serious matter. Please present it
I
seriously.
recommend watching Nicholas DeOrio.
Yo, thank you for hitting the goal.
Video.
I am sorry I was told my dad got around when he was younger. Are you my mom?
Yeah, dude, happy Mother's Day.
I feel so bad for laughing at this, you
This is why everyone likes my show better. We don't have to pretend we're taking it serious.
These girls have to sit there and basically realize...
Yeah, you know what? That's a quote. You know what I'm referencing there? I don't know. Do we have, I can pull up the full leaked call, right? This is what I told Max. He's playing this as a gotcha. This is what I told Max.
Nicholas, the goat. Thank you
me
for the
see.
$5, my man.
Let me see. Leaked call. I have used that in the title a lot, haven't I? I'll just look in the MamaMax folder. Reaction. Here it is.
After you platformed counter narratives and you refused.
Hey, what's going on, guys? It looks like today will be... It is... Review. Okay. Here we go. This is him aggressively asking why I didn't platform his victims.
Done my part.
That's really childish to say it's only on me.
No, it's childish to
Not
lead
anyone
8
else.
women to slaughter
Not
because
having
your
anyone
ego
else
is too
take
big.
Responsibility for their actions. Nicholas, we asked you to platform us after you platformed counter narratives and you refused.
Max, I run a
how's
show
that
called
not
Rape
your
Review,
responsibility?
okay? You don't want your fucking, you don't want your 8 victims on Rape Review. They don't belong on fucking Rape Review, okay? I'm an entertainer who says stupid shit online. I absolutely cannot platform people in a situation like this. It's out of the realm of possibility for anything that I should be doing.
Except counter narrative.
Oh, I'm sorry. Was
That's
the
not the
was the
primary
3
source.
videos of yours that I watched not your narrative? Was that Cameron's narrative too? Has he infiltrated your cult?
What are you talking about?
I watched your fucking videos, Max, for 4.5 hours. How is that a counter narrative?
You platformed counter narratives, but you were not willing to platform the survivors.
He
That is
platformed
called
your
milieu
videos.
control. That is called milieu control. It is
No, that
one
is
of
called
8
knowing my
criteria.
limitations and knowing what is
It is
appropriate.
one of 8
Clearly something
criteria.
that you are unable
It is-
to figure out for
It is
yourself.
one of 8 criteria to be defined as a cult, as laid out by Robert J.
He's saying that
Lifton.
I'm a cult because of Robert
Okay,
J.
that-
fucking lift hits, dude.
That is milieu control.
Am I being fucking punked? Is there a camera somewhere in the room? Is this a fucking joke to you?
It seems like it's more of a joke to you.
Yeah, because I'm the one doing all the fucking process.
By the way, this is when the video got like born in my head. I wasn't sure I was making a video until this conversation.
The tease done.
My YouTube return was solidified by this fucking combo.
Honestly, Max, I don't think there's anything much more that I can glean out of this. You haven't provided me a shred of evidence that's going to convert anything. In fact, what's hilarious about this is now I'm finding out there's a super secret evidence channel that I didn't have access to. So again, how you could even say that Muta's looked at all the evidence when I haven't looked at all the evidence is beyond me. And again, I'm putting this.
And again, some of those clips that he's pulling from the initial interview and any of the calls that he has on there is before Muta even looked at the evidence folder. There's no establishing a timeline in this video. It's just putting all the meanest clips possible together.
This entire situation on you because you're the one that brought this to the platform.
Because this is the fucking day. This is when I start making my main channel video. So the convo on the second channel where we talked about it had already happened.
You're the one that's talking about this in such a in such an illogical manner. Not
That's
misinformed,
more you.
illogical.
That is.
How's
more
that
you.
mean? Did I make a video on this?
Case.
Did I make a video on this, Max? Did I?
You have spoken on live streams.
I've spoken on your live streams.
Yeah, I spoke with you when you chose to platform. Oh god.
Only mine?
And I've
and the Nick DeOrio one.
spoken
Yeah.
on
My live stream.
Yeah, Nicholas's live stream.
And who else?
Tommy C. Yeah.
And who else?
Oh, by the way, you re-victimized Tommy C, a CSA survivor, with the QR codes that I had to look through individually and read. That's
Why? Because he
another
criticized your YouTube video, Max? That was
So
that
he
was
can
totally
tell
justified.
me to suck his dick and call me a pedophile?
So you were like, "Yeah, dude, I'm gonna fuck you in the ass, dude. I'm gonna fuck you in the ass."
But I can't do that to him in a QR code?
Dude, I'm so... Wait, what? Yeah, dude, I mean, if that's a bad thing, then the pedo hunter shouldn't do that. Yeah, he probably shouldn't do that. Yeah, it's
Are y'all being serious right now?
This is such a joke.
It is not a joke.
Yeah, it is. You're a joke, and you're fucking this up for these girls, and it's all on you, and you're digging your fucking grave right now. It's
You know what?
insane.
I'm just gonna say it just because I have to say it. You need to hand this situation off to a proper investigator, a proper journalist.
And again, I said this last stream. Maybe it wasn't as obvious for people who I guess don't really know the situation, but this could not have happened without Mutahar. Listen, if Mutahar didn't say, "Hey Nick, would you like to fucking jump in this call with me and confront MamaMax and give me this opportunity?" I wouldn't have been able to do this. And we wouldn't have had, because Muta ends up leaving, and then all the stuff from my first video, or like the questions I ask after he's already gone, and then he comes back later because I texted him like, you missed a lot. Without Mutahar, I don't have the opportunity to fly here and confront Max on this stuff. I never make my video. Mutahar makes whatever he makes. Who knows how that would go without the context that he got from me, right? Like, Mutahar was important here.
Who is Bunty King?
Nobody listens to this without Mutahar, but if Mutahar doesn't get me through the door, we have no clips to listen to.
Sleep, ya know?
Yeah.
Why don't you take it, Mutahar?
Am I a law enforcement?
If you think he's a proper journalist, that's the problem. Like, what's wrong with you?
So you can talk about other cases, but you can't talk about this one.
Because this one is a fucking cult of hundreds of victims from a vampire, werewolf, sex-crazed lunatic or something. Like, this is just so fucking satirical. It is comical to even engage with this from what we knew publicly at the time. It's ridiculous.
Other cases that I talked about.
Are you telling me you have not done any investigation on any other case whatsoever?
Like, dude, let's take, for example, I'm Alex versus Alice Hess abuse allegations. We have, like, stuff that happened on video, on recording that we can consult, right? We also have almost every person related to the situation giving some kind of statement. Okay. And it's not a 1,000 victim werewolf sex cult, so we have that going for us. Yeah, I feel like I can confidently discuss that on stream. This is something that I wouldn't touch with a 10-foot pole. Without being, like, begged to.
What other cases specifically? That's what I'm asking you. I have investigated other cases, but what were those cases and what was the nature?
This sounds like a Stephen King novel.
Of them?
You know you're like a pedophile hunter, right? You like, dude, that's like an insane pause. No idea what to say, dude. You know you're like a pedophile hunter, right? You like do this? You've covered quite a few cases, but for some reason you're telling us that this one seems particularly difficult. So are all cases built the same? Just because Mutahar has done Club Penguin, he can march these 8 girls down to Georgia? Like that's just like a normal thing to do?
That's not what we're asking for.
You know what? I'm sorry, you're not being very clear about it.
Survivors earn our trust, and then maybe we would have shown him more evidence. The thing is
oh yeah, I'm sorry. It's that whole like give and take relationship. This is so weird.
We don't know who to trust right now because of the shit that's been.
Then why don't you just focus with like, dude? It's like the Breaking Bad meme. It's like, well, if you're not really sure who you're dealing with, maybe it would be best if you just. Maybe it would be best if you just like watch what you're doing. I forgot the quote.
Happening. We knew this shit was gonna.
Maybe it would be best if you just tread lightly then.
Come regardless. Like, how are we supposed to?
Keep in mind this part. This is like the crescendo.
I recommend watching
we cut
Nicholas
2 hours
DeOrio
into a 2 hour and 40 minute
video.
call.
I hate this timeline. F***ck it I am leaving the vehicle even if it's an airplane.
Dude, the first hour of this is just us listening to Spencer, and then we start asking questions after she gets her whole thing out. And I think we were fairly respectful when we spoke to her.
Allow certain YouTubers to see this evidence and trust that later on they're not going to turn around after getting our permission and then say something negative about it.
I just realized that Spencer is the evil Nick in the call. Why would you say that? Well, saying like something negative about it isn't necessarily a bad thing. Because that's an opinion. Like, to say something negative about something they've seen would just be a statement you don't like. It wouldn't necessarily be something malicious, right?
Well, I mean malicious statements in general. Like, there's fucking shit that people are saying about me now, and it's like...
Well, yeah, that's Max's fault, because you're literally the front of this entire thing.
Right? My fault.
right?
Yeah, dude, because you're using her as a human shield. Does it hurt? Does it hurt the way that you're being used as a human shield?
I would very much like to point out that Muta going on to Tommy C and lyrics, that brings more people that dislike it.
It's like they needed attention, then they got attention they didn't like, and it was a problem.
Dislike Max out. There are people that are literally cyber stalking survivors right now because of these
the name of the guy,
comments.
Keemstar Orbiter? Nick Oreo. Mr. Oreo.
I don't understand. If they trusted Max, then why didn't he release the real evidence in the first place?
He couldn't because not all of them were...
because there was no evidence.
It's not because there was no evidence, because he was trying to keep the anonymity for these people he was just blurring and like lackadaisically putting into these videos. So it was like they weren't all on board for everything, and he was bringing more... And I guess like he met some of the people through the videos he had already posted. So it was always kind of like up in the air how much he could actually show at any given moment. Are they cyber stalking them, or are they looking? And keep in mind, I have to this day never seen the evidence. I have no problem saying that. He asked me to sign the NDA that he's threatening to sue Mutahar for right now. So I'm glad I didn't sign it. I had absolutely no interest to see an NDA for a YouTube video I was never going to make. For evidence that no one will provide.
Literally cyber
I feel like that's what everyone wanted, was we're going to go public with this so people look for evidence. But they're looking for evidence that we don't want to show them yet.
Someone went all the way through Kai's fucking Facebook, found a post from like 3 years ago, and was trying to use that as like a gotcha for Max.
Well, yeah, that's what happens when you go public with a story instead of focusing on going through law enforcement. You're going public. There are negatives and there are positives to going public, and I'm sure Max didn't explain that to you because it's clear he has no idea what he's doing.
Explain that to me. But the thing is when someone as influential as Muta goes on,
Spencer back then disagreed with you about her being a shield for Max, when I am certain she would probably agree with you in current day.
Yeah, but the problem is Spencer's not a reliable witness, so I don't really care if she agrees with me. Spencer was crazy back then. She's crazier now. She's probably lied about Max, which I could obviously say, because I'm not just a fucking obsessed Max hater, right? It seems pretty reasonable that he fed her. I doubt that he starved her in her house. I don't believe that. There's not enough evidence shown for me to believe that either. So if there's anything, I am a consistent victim blamer, if that's the case.
To these, it just perpetuates it even more.
So Spencer on my team does literally nothing for me.
It makes people think, oh, well, this big YouTuber said...
But this is me telling Spencer how it is. Stuff that Max should have briefed her on, and if he did, urged her not to do the things that she was doing. Again, Max created, or allowed her to create, a channel where they broadcasted her story, and he promoted it.
The
right? There was a Spencer YouTube channel that had this 4-hour podcast on it that he was pushing people over to. Why are you boosting, creating a social media campaign or whatever for the fucking victim of the Camden Gerard David case? Why are you bringing all of these people together? That would make it harder to prosecute this. All of the things he had done was something that was so obviously not what you should be doing if you're taking something like this on. And I think the first thing he shouldn't have been doing is touching it at all. Let's be honest.
Keffel's tweet on Nicholas DeOrio.
Keffel's appreciated.
Also
the
Vax,
shout-out.
true.
What did I say on those streams that was so counter to your narrative?
You said that the evidence that Max showed wasn't something that you would make a video on. It wasn't substantial enough to show on your YouTube channel. And you said those things because Max went around telling everybody that you'd seen the evidence and was using that as a clout capital. Yeah, that was another thing. He said Mutahar had seen the evidence.
Nick Oreo. Mr. Oreo.
I'm sorry, this is a reaction to me instead of a reaction to the video. But it'll play, so people would believe. I'm literally relearning all this stuff because I'd forgotten what he had to say. Because he's not going to show anything to everybody. I guess he hadn't gotten the permission yet.
You are speaking for us?
Well, you don't speak for yourself, Max.
I'm talking.
Okay. I don't understand, dude. I'm sorry for making a joke after you turn this into a circus. I'm not going to be held fucking at gunpoint for jokes I made on a podcast after this was all dead and buried because of your reporting. My bad.
All right. Do we need another bird?
Wait, who was chewing? Who the fuck was chewing?
All right. Do we need another?
Okay, that's enough. We're going to watch the video now. Sorry.
that their entire story is being invalidated in real time, is being made a mockery of in real time. Yeah, we're making a podcast and we're just having like just rape victims on it the whole time. Who's our first guest here? It's like, well, this person's like,
well, I know what show to bring them on. That's a joke at Max's expense. Wait, why is he playing this like an unironic clip? I just played you the context for it.
Tweet on Nicholas DeOrio.
That's crazy. I agree with you, Max.
Good night, my Leviathans. Going to class for my first day of uni in a couple hours.
Congrats. Good shit.
Wish me luck. Also,
Good luck.
WTF count Nicola Wiggler.
I just saw
Dude, that's so... He plays a clip of me making a joke about why he shouldn't put them on the stream. Well, I know what show to bring them on. Also, this is so funny because that's not the music that plays on this. So he actually went out of his way to put on the donate pay-per-view thing. Yeah, if you... Let me play that. I'll play that one right now.
Nicholas, the goat.
So he edited it. He edited it to make it play the other, like to show that on screen when it was actually the original intro. That's so funny. Wow, this is so evil, Max. It's almost like I told you that we weren't going to platform them because we don't take this stuff seriously on this channel. And you begged me to cover it.
Our first rape victim, let's bring in Spencer!
And let me just amend that. It's not that we don't take this stuff seriously. I try to take things seriously as much as I can. The Pixie allegations, right? Like, people were asking me to do the fucking intro and make a whole mockery of the Pixie stuff while we were covering that. I cover that very differently. But there's no fucking way that it would be a good idea to interview Pixie on the stream. That would be, like, stupid. That would be dumb. And I think I even said that at the time. Like, I wasn't going to reach out to Pixie to do a fucking interview on my Shock Jock radio broadcast to talk about the intricacies of this stuff. I'm not platforming that behavior. However, I will talk about that in some capacity. It's the same with MamaMax. There's no way that my stream for the night is going to be 4 hours of people coming on and speaking over and over again. And it's actually weird that he asked me that because my channel had like 36,000 fucking subs and Max is like a million sub YouTuber, right? Or close to it. So I didn't know why he needed to come to me begging for a platform when he was a significantly larger content creator than I am. And at that point, I was only streaming to like 600 people too. This was when I first came back. Your handling of the I'm Alex domestic violence was excellent. Anyone who listens to you knows what you're actually about. Yeah, but like, also, it probably isn't a good idea to bring on Alice Hez either, because we make tons of jokes too. There, like, as much as it was, people say it's good coverage, we made plenty of brick jokes. We did the fucking I'm Alex in the bathroom meme. All right, that's stuff that's probably pretty toxic for them, that I wouldn't expect them to sit here while I make these jokes in front of them, right? And I'm not going to not make these jokes because that's what my fucking stream is. So yeah, there's going to be some shit that's inappropriate when we talk about it, but I try to, like, get the actual story correct, I guess. And cover it to the best of my ability. So that's, I guess, an amended version of what I was saying there. and again, even if I don't make those jokes, my chat's making those jokes, okay? If Alice is talking about Alex on my platform, they're just spamming bricks in chat. That's what she's going to be reading. She's going to be on a stream with fucking 3,000 people spamming brick emojis while she talks. Okay? That's no place for her to be.
Who's the next high-profile victim we're gonna have on this podcast?
This Sunday night!
This Sunday night, the biggest victim!
And yeah, he's playing this as if it's supposed to be a bad clip of me, when it's me explaining why I wouldn't platform them.
Of them all! Dude,
oh my god.
Dude, fucking... She was raped by 1,000,000 men!
Also, I disavow Boblack specifically.
Like, he had convinced me to have someone bring me to his house.
And again, there's Camden Gerard Davis on screen from his traffic violation, dude. We've got him.
He beat me and then me.
But you know, the transformation process is really dangerous on your body, especially because you're young. So from there, she had me like put stuff in my body and told me to pretend it.
It's just testimony. It's literally just testimony. like we're doxing this Camden guy, okay? I'm supposed to platform 5 girls saying absolutely horrible shit.
Nicholas!
Without so much as like
Thank
a
you for the
screenshot.
$5,
And I am not
man.
signing an NDA to view anything personally, so.
Was like his.
I wasn't willing to sign an NDA. There was no reason for these people to come on my platform.
I was 14.
During the midst of it,
Nicholas!
I tried to...
Thank
the
you.
GOAT. Thank you for the $5.
Oh, thanks for hitting the
man.
goal. Oh, that's going to be in the next Max video. And again, I actually talked about this. Do you see this part that we're watching right now? This was also another unique issue that I had with Max. Because he's still doing it. These girls don't want to even be in the videos anymore because he's blurring their faces. And he is still doing it. Let me grab it. Come on. Load. Playlist. MamaMax. I'm learning. I'm remembering my fucking previous video right now. Of the fucking sample platter. Example that I've shown you up to this point comes close to what you're about to see.
I hope you can all understand my position. We are living in a world where survivors scream for help and no one wants to listen.
It's the same argument right now, right? The exact same argument.
That was the night where he had induced my last marriage.
But you know, the transformation process is really dangerous on your body, especially because you're young. So from there, she had me like put stuff in my body and told me to pretend it was like his penis.
During the midst of it, I tried to scream.
We interrupt your sympathy baiting and bitching to play a sexual abuse survivor sample platter to really pull at your heartstrings. I don't need to tell you this is extreme. The first time I heard that fucking lineup of fucking allegations was at the end of Max's response video, where right before his girlfriend came up and cried and hugged him or something. It was so embarrassing. It was his get out ahead video that he'd posted right before we went live, right? With our videos. Really manipulative. It was extremely fucking weird that he did that. And disgusting behavior. Because he wielded these people as swords. He held them up as human shields. That's what these women were during this conflict. This video also includes some of he uses the same clips. He probably pulled it from the first time he used it. It's gross and weird. It's gross and weird then. It's gross and weird now. They're blurred. They don't even want to be in the video, but they are still his human shield.
I was screaming no and screaming for help. And he put his hand on my throat and choked me and told me that if I kept screaming, he would kill not just me, but my family too. When it was done, he got off of me and he went across the room.
That's what this is. It's a sexual abuse survivor sample platter that he can hide behind.
He looked at me, saw me crying.
But I'm the bad guy because I make jokes.
And he said, "What just happened?"
Let me tell you something, Max. Neither of us were the proper platform for these girls to go to get justice. I can live with that. Can you?
At him and I told him, "You just me."
Dude, everyone just gets gang banged in this
because I was upfront about it.
universe, bro. What the f?
Shut up! Muda!
All I've seen is a character here that has made a mockery out of serious investigations, covered things with no due diligence, and this kind of a thin rope ultimately leads to collateral damage for everybody else involved. Making claims like this and causing a big mockery of this situation ultimately puts the case that is being built at risk. Speaking with more of the victims after this call myself, I feel very disgusted hearing any more about the situation and the things that have been alleged to go behind it, which is why I'm doing my due diligence to at least try and help these victims out, but privately.
Which, to my knowledge, he did, I guess.
Not a public...
I think he said he paid somebody. Again, I don't think that he should be paying anybody. I don't think he should be giving money to these people. Apparently it was for something unrelated to the case.
Nicholas!
I'm sorry, like,
Thank you for
that
the
just comes off as weird to me. Like, I get it. These people are like survivors of something. That's what you're going with, okay? But like, and maybe it's like, oh, well, all these YouTubers are making money off of them and stuff, so I guess that's like bad, even though they're asking people to cover it. But doesn't it create like a weird dynamic if you're giving them money, or you're housing them, or you're feeding them, and they're becoming financially tied to you in any such way? That feels like it shouldn't happen, because you know, biases can enter the conversation, and that's not how a fucking investigation works. It just seems really weird that they wanted this to happen. Like the Spencer YouTube channel promotion thing. Why should Spencer start like an influencer career off the back of this story? It doesn't really bode well for the actual court stuff eventually, if we're ever actually going to get there.
Spectacle, like Max is doing. We are real, Camden Gerard Davis. Whatever you may or may not have done, I'm not really sure.
Today's video is the most...
It's like, oh, Nick puts a joke in his video that was part of the section. It's the worst thing ever. MamaMax frames his entire video as an influencer, what's it called? An influencer hypnosis monologue, and makes a video clickbaiting Charlie as a sex offender. And that's like valid, based, epic, double, super Kekarino funny, I guess. Right? That's the funniest thing that's ever happened.
serious I might have made in my entire career on this platform. It's a video I don't want to make because it's personally so uncomfortable.
Mutahar, I thought you were going to be serious. If you didn't want to make this video because it makes you so uncomfortable, why did you continue to make multiple videos on this topic despite the cyberbullying and cyberstalking that you're causing to both me and the survivor?
Oh, cover my video, cover my video, cover my video. Not like that. You're cyberstalking and harassing me. Now you're harassing me. This is harassment. Dude, I'm sorry. You don't get to beg people to make videos on something and then you not like the video that was made because it critiqued you harshly and left the door open about your survivors, but then hold them up as human shields to say, no, 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 stop it. My career, my Patreons. It's so fucking pathetic, dude. It is so pathetic.
I would very much like to point out that Muta going on to Tommy C and lyrics, that brings more people that dislike it, that dislike Max, out.
Okay, well, you should have gone to the police then instead of the internet if you didn't want people to give their opinion.
There are people that are literally cyber stalking survivors right now.
You also attended up to 12 hours of live streams with your commentary buddies talking
Yeah, after this was all said and done. Yep.
shit about us and the case.
Well, actually, no. The 12 hours was not the singular stream. Some of those things were related to earlier stuff. Like the call that he had with me was after I'd seen all the videos and before we'd end up talking to him.
I'm going to say it, like the true crime audience is like the most retarded.
But most of these clips that are bad seemingly come from after this thing was a total trash fire.
Audience.
Funny how that works.
On YouTube. You could fucking feed them the biggest load of bullshit and 9 times out of 10 they'll believe it.
I don't think you're being serious. I think you're being quite dishonest, actually.
But at no point is anything that I'm going to be doing anymore regarding the situation public.
Yeah, what was he doing regarding the situation? Was this like an investigation into Camden? I feel like that's not what he meant.
I'm never going to be making a follow-up video. Hello guys and gals, me Mutahar, and it's been 7 days since I covered a pretty wild story on YouTube. Now, since then, it's been quite an explosive, trending topic.
Wasn't this the video, did he make, I forget, wasn't the second video to talk about the CSAM hash stuff? Well, there was obviously an update, but...
With multiple videos coming out on the daily, many even from channels that I am very good friends with.
Do you think that, like, is the allegation that Mutahar double-dipped for, like, financial incentives, that he didn't have a justification for making this video, that he didn't see the first time?
It's like Oompaville, Noxtaku. A lot of content creators, even some that I've worked with on this project, have made follow-up pieces regarding this situation. Hello guys and gals, me Mutahar, and today we're going to be looking at a pretty interesting update regarding MamaMax. So about 7-8 months ago, I covered this individual who...
It's like you're not allowed to change your mind about anything, ever.
Used to be a good friend of mine.
So no...
Oh, because Max threatened to sue him. Yeah, that's kind of an important detail, yeah.
Not only are you repeatedly lying to your audience, but you are also choosing to defame and destroy someone who
Okay, if you say something in the past, okay, and then in the future you've decided, right, that you don't agree with that anymore, that's not lying to your audience. That's like... that's like just not agreeing with that position anymore. That's not how that works.
Looked up to you like a brother. Just because I made some mistakes in how I presented this case.
This was not some... Okay, whoa! That is a massive downplay. Holy shit.
Looked up to you like a brother. just because I made some mistakes in how I presented this.
Everything that you did was a mistake. You getting involved was a mistake. You fucking begging YouTubers for support was a mistake. Your entire framing of the situation was a mistake. Me engaging with you at any point after our first conversation on the podcast was a huge mistake.
This case. Since you have done everything in your power to ruin my life,
your birth was a mistake.
I think I'm going to enjoy these next 3 hours with you.
Today, I personally don't consider this person a friend. I consider them a liar, both professionally and on a personal level regarding very personal things.
Objection!
So this is a smear tactic called poisoning the well.
Dude, oh my god. Dude, he's watched Destiny, bro. Dude, I can't. Dude, we got a logical fallacy in the first fucking 30 seconds. I can't, dude. I actually fucking can't. Dude. Holy shit. I can't watch this. I'm gonna rage off this tonight. There's no way I finish this video.
That is to prime the audience with adverse information about me from the start, in an attempt to make his claims more acceptable or discount the credibility of my claims.
What fallacy is the fucking influencer cult? Dude, I'm sorry. Explaining that you're like a piece of shit is like bad, but talking in a fucking Hotline Miami voice about pedo allegations and investigations is totally above board and not weird at all when you're discussing serious allegations.
So Mutahar introduces his
my axioms are not grounded enough for this logical through line.
Most serious video he might have made in his entire career on this platform by immediately labeling me a liar. This
is the MamaMax I know. This is just, it went from being kind of stupid, maybe he has a point, to just completely stupid.
Doing this to position himself as the heroic, objective truth bringer who makes very serious videos, whilst I am the evil liar who lies about everything, both professionally and personally. But unlike Mutahar, I am actually going to prove to you that he is a liar.
But that's me going into things that I shouldn't need to.
So you literally admit you shouldn't be poisoning the well, and you did it anyway. Okay.
Oh. Wait. Okay, that's awesome. That's great. I'm glad we just went through that whole definition thing.
The goat. Thank you for the $5.
Is that supposed to be like a... okay.
I also didn't want to make a video on this because I'm not an expert on the topics that we are completely discussing today.
And yet you have continued to make videos on...
You wanted him to make it. Wait, not an expert on the topic? You asked Anthony Fantano to talk about one of your fucking stories, dude. You're like a clout-guzzling cock gobbler. What are you... What?
Nicholas!
You wanted Charlie to talk about this, dude. You were gonna get in a fucking private call with him. Oh, wait, now you have a fucking... Now we've got standards for our journalism? Give me a fucking break, dude.
This topic.
Joe Rogan, put me on your podcast!
And speak as if you are the expert on the subject matter. Pretty funny, considering I've spoken to actual experts who...
I spoke to Dr. Dipshits, dude, and Dr. Dipshits tells me that you're wrong.
Seem to have a very...
Milieu control. Very
different opinion than you.
I feel like I wouldn't have fallen for something like this when I was 16.
I don't know.
Is that hard to
have.
say? Yeah, I'm sorry. The vampire, werewolf, sex goblin cult is something I don't think I would have fell for when I was 16. I could say that in fucking current day and not feel bad about it. It sounds stupid.
Right. Yes.
Look, yeah, this is the thing that, because I remember me and Jen were saying it. She was much rougher than I was. She was like, ain't no way any dumbass is falling for no vampire Twilight shit.
Not only is this some of the most disrespectful shit I've ever heard a respected influencer say about cult survivors, it's also a harmful stereotype that has no basis in reality.
And the biggest vulnerability? I'd be going, I'm too smart. It would never happen to me. I'm too together. I know myself.
Wow, I guess I'm in threat. Dude, somebody watch me, bro. I might get taken any day.
Nicholas, the goat.
Yeah, I feel like he's talking about for kids, right? In the context of like kids joining a cult, right? That's me saying that in current day.
I have good family, good education. And what I'm saying is, it happened to me.
You're not immune to cultic influence. Nobody is. And I know some of you are thinking that'll never happen to me. If you think you're not...
Is this a fucking TED Talk? Did he just splice a TED Talk into our fucking shit stream? Are you fucking serious?
Susceptible, you're more susceptible than you know.
You know, people have the idea that the people who get into cults have some kind of mental problems, and that's absolutely not the case.
But it could be any.
Except for Spencer. Because Max seems to think that she does. Well, maybe mental problem is a little too far, but yeah. We trust everyone. Trust but verify. Oh wait, verify. That's the alright, just trust. Calm down.
It could be any race, any socioeconomic level. They could be rich, they could be poor, they could be young, they could be old.
I gotta lock in right now. Sorry, I know we're doing the big vampire sex cult investigation, but I'm actually the last alive outside of this other guy.
I recommend watching Nicholas DeOrio's latest video.
Where is this asshole?
They could be highly educated or uneducated. But what I've seen, if I were going to pull a consistent thread through many of the cases that I've dealt with, it would be somebody who's not happy at a particular point in their life. These people were not
No!
They weren't illiterate. They were sophisticated.
Dude, I didn't think he was going to be in the storm. Why would he be in the storm, dude?
Educated, well-educated people. So I think if we think that we're not vulnerable, we're not really being honest with ourselves. Anyone can be had given the right set of circumstances and timing.
Got it. Cool. All right, let's hear.
This girl was 16 when she was that old.
At the time, yeah, supposedly.
Billy Mitchell strikes again. What did Billy say? I didn't see it. L. Billy Mitchell just told me I'm an L. What the fuck?
Yeah, I don't want to be the asshole here, but like when I was 16,
out of
I had a
Riz.
job at that point, so I don't know how I was falling into vampires.
Well, you're Indian. You're smarter than most people.
Yeah, apparently not.
As you know.
What? You're Indian. You're smarter than most people? I guess you're not, actually. Okay. Jesus, that's... Base smacks base.
Upload things to my channel. It can be about computer software. It can be about creepy games. It can be browsing the weirder side of the internet, like the deep web. It can be looking at trending things. It could be...
Dude, your Indian card has just been revoked.
A bunch of stuff. Mostly like...
I want to believe that that's what he meant. Not that he's not smart. It's that he's just... I guess you're not Indian, Mutahar, because you're not smart enough.
Lighthearted.
Mostly lighthearted. You know, like that lighthearted lighthearted... lighthearted red.
I don't know what you're saying right now, so I have no idea.
Rooms.
Oh, I guess Mutahar. Oh, wait. Oh my god, dude, he's pulling up all the Muta lore.
Lighthearted child rings, lighthearted Epstein documents. And
yeah, well, okay, hold on. The Epstein documents are kind of lighthearted. I mean, Jeffrey Epstein is like a fucking meme that people put in like... Unfortunately, that's the case. Like, Jeffrey Epstein has become kind of a meme. Do you remember when the fake Epstein documents leaked and everyone thought Stephen Hawking was on the list? That was pretty funny. Yeah, you could joke about that.
And lighthearted...
I mean, he's obviously like a horrible millionaire pedophile influencer who like fucking did a bunch of... Not influencer. Oh no, dude. He's obviously a crazy fucking psychotic fucking pedophile, right? But he's also the guy who like gave a $20,000 loan to JF before he was alleged to have killed his wife. Alleged, by the way, of course. Some people are saying that. I'm not really sure who, but...
Zeus
see, like, dude, I'm sorry. Like, there's a way to joke about Jeffrey Epstein, for sure.
You know, Daddy's hunted for a while. He knows what skinning an animal is like, let me tell you.
You know, all that lighthearted stuff.
And yes, I do occasionally dip into things that are very serious. But when it comes to situations...
Wait, why did he do all that just for Mutahar to turn around and go, and yeah, I do make serious content sometimes. He did all of that prep work and all that just to say like, yeah, no, I do this though. This is like the master lock defeats the master lock.
Regarding, you know, situations regarding trafficking and whatnot. I am not an expert. That is something for the law enforcement, for lawyers, for professionals to appropriately handle.
I can't watch this, dude. Max is doing this whole like I'm not a professional thing that he was fully aware of when he was begging this guy to cover his fucking 8 tangible victims and 1,000+ that he hasn't found yet. It's so stupid. Ah, you are out of your depth, Mutahar, covering this story. That's why I begged you to cover it.
I don't even think YouTubers should be the ones that are running cases like this, because in a vast majority of cases, most of them...
Mutahar was never running this case. You were. Even when he was supporting that one victim with money or whatever, he was never running the case.
Aren't well equipped.
I actually agree with it.
Oh, It's gonna be the wait, hold on. It's gonna be the Club Penguin thing. And wait, by the way, that's a lie. Hold on.
Vast majority of cases, most of them aren't well equipped.
I actually agree with this. These types of cases should be handled by the appropriate channels like law enforcement.
Okay, I think he's lying. I'm sorry. I don't think that's true. You should go back and watch our interview when I ask him if he does things in accordance with the law, or if he makes his videos or does any of his investigations with like convictions in mind. Okay? He absolutely does not think this, or at least he didn't back when he was making these videos.
However, the victims of this case already tried reporting these crimes to law enforcement with no success.
Your platform is still not the place to house it. You're an insane person.
And so they decided to reach out to me to help cover their case.
And then you should tell them that this is not a good option.
Which is something I've done many times before. And
you should, like, have a list of things that you can recommend them to do that's different than just go to your local police station and file a report. Like, give them other options to go through.
So have you.
And given the fact that kids are involved, it may actually even be criminal to an extent. So in conclusion, I gotta say, look, this video is a hard video to make. But what I do know about this video is we're all responsible, okay? As a YouTube community, we need to raise
Muda hypocrisy.
Awareness is on. Given
I ain't responsible for shit, dude. I pick my subjects. I cover whatever the fuck I want.
That I'm on this platform, the strongest thing I can do is raise the awareness.
Huh.
But in this situation...
Oh, shit, dude. Muda got clapped right there. I'm not gonna lie.
This creator specifically that we are talking about is MamaMax. Now, MamaMax is a channel with 746,000 subscribers, a filmmaker dedicated to empowering children.
And in this situation, this creator specifically that we are talking about is Some Ordinary Gamers. Some Ordinary Gamers is a channel with several million subscribers. Let's plays, commentaries, reviews, hardcore raging. We're just a team of ordinary gamers. What did you expect?
Throughout his career, MamaMax has covered topics such as his Life Sucks series, anime reviews, but what most people know Max for is his Predator hunts, videos where Max claims to infiltrate dark corners of social media. He's made very popular videos and gained a lot of respect in the larger YouTube community.
Throughout his career, Mutahar has covered topics such as his deep web exploration series, hentai reviews.
Muda history.
But what most people know Mutahar for is videos where Mutahar claims to infiltrate dark corners of social media. He's made very popular...
Are you saying he's a poser?
...videos and gained a lot of respect in the larger YouTube community.
Predator hunting is a popular topic on the internet, and you...
Bro, you not tired? Is it... Oh, fuck, it's 1 a.m. I chugged a coffee. I didn't even realize. Well, I'm only 16 minutes in, and it's been like an hour. So... I don't know, we'll go for a little longer.
YouTube in general, and it's seen a bit of a resurgence in recent years with very high-profile cases such as EDP445, caught in a massive YouTube sting operation, in an alleged meetup of a minor. Nowadays, the predator poaching channels that exist are a dime a dozen, and a big fear of these channels that a lot of the community has is that in the grand majority, for clicks and revenue, basic investigative and evidentiary rules aren't met, and law enforcement in many cases is not even involved until well after the fact.
This is the issue I'm going to have with this whole video. If Mutahar is the biggest, dumbest, fucking stupidest hypocrite on the planet, and he made some jokes 3 weeks later or whatever, or like a month and a half later, his first video on Max is really good. Even if he's like the biggest, snakiest piece of shit, scumbaggiest fucking fake friend, not social climber, fucking tall tales fucking freak who watched a bunch of fucking weird porn online and then talked about it on his podcast and fucking goes... I mean, his video is still good. His video on Max is still accurate. That's kind of... This video is attempting to dismantle Mutahar, but it doesn't necessarily help Max, because all of the criticisms against him are valid. Or at least the vast majority of them.
So I can't really speak for other creators, but I think Mutahar is accusing me of never working with law enforcement. And
I'll probably watch this video, and then after this I'm probably done, because... If this is his second video, I mean, he's going to lead with his biggest shit, and his second video is just like an attack on Mutahar's credibility a year after he got laughed off the internet. I probably don't really think I'm going to watch any more of them, because at this point, it's just kind of feeding and giving a voice to this guy, who I probably shouldn't be using my platform to promote. He doesn't seem like he's sorry. He doesn't seem like he's learned his lesson. It feels like he's saying he fucked up parts as like a minor little concession so he can go on his redemption rant. And as funny as some of these things are, I probably shouldn't waste time signal boosting them to a larger audience. I don't know, unless he says some shit that I have to respond to, but I don't really see that as a possibility at this point.
Does not provide any evidence for this claim. He just says it. But this has never been true. He's even helped me out with previous cases where we literally made reports to the FBI and NCMEC together. So here's my typical process, okay?
Yeah, dude, in the fucking Bo Black's Instagram wake up things, they made fucking FBI things too. That's not like a huge accomplishment to send something to the FBI.
I begin recording everything on OBS when I get on the platform. As soon as I confirm I am talking to an adult that is trying to groom minors, we create a mega drive and upload our recordings to that drive. We then link that to an FBI cyber tip and continually update the drive with evidence until the investigation is complete, which is usually when we have video evidence to support our claims.
Would you want me to go up and down on you?
Oh.
Okay, I don't need to see the fucking...
Yes.
I don't need to see the pedos, dude.
Was let free. Because guess what, Mutahar? Even when crimes are committed, and you have evidence...
Wait, no, his example can't be EDP 445.
Literally say is a high-profile case, was let free.
Oh no, oh dear. This might be my rage point.
However, even if you have evidence, depending on the jurisdiction, nothing will happen. Even EDP 445, who you...
I can't pull up the clip, but you can go look at it for yourself, because I think YouTube terminates people who show this clip. I don't think you can show anything from the EDP investigation, so I'm going to be very sparing with it. But if you go into it, you can watch them confront EDP. The end of the video is the best part. It's when Alex Rosen, who is now doing things in a very different way than he handled those allegations, is frantically calling the police, saying, we're ready to turn over a shitload of evidence. And then, like, them not taking him seriously over the phone. That, like, sting operation that they did on EDP was not in coordination with any law enforcement. I think they were turning over stuff after the fact. And he was, like, freaking out or whatever as they're chasing him through the parking lot. It was handled horribly. The EDP 445 allegations were a fucking disgrace. It's literally a prime example of why YouTube pedophile hunting is bad. To use this as your example is extremely fucking retarded.
You literally say is a high-profile...
They forgot his license? Is that true? I don't remember that part.
...case was let free. Because
if, like, EDP 445 is, like, the thing that Max would stride for, he would stride to be, like, the worst Alex Rosen break ever.
Guess what, Mutahar? Even when crimes are committed, and you have evidence that crimes were committed, which, by the way, most young children do not have, predators still walk free.
Why is your local police department praising Alex Rosen's work then?
Nicholas, the goat. Thank you for the $5,
Why can I go to Alex Rosen's website from predator poachers and read about, like, convictions of people that he's gotten arrested? Why are people on Alex Rosen's stream getting arrested on camera in some cases, or brought in by police for questioning in, like, a tangible way that you can see? Why is this not the case for you? What are you doing right now that is different than what Alex Rosen, the person whose example you've picked, probably his worst predator investigation in recent memory, right? I think he was like, what was he, like 18 or 19 at the time? He was a young kid when he made that too. He's obviously changed what he's done since then, right? Why is he able to have so much success where you've had absolutely none throughout your entire time hunting pedophiles?
In many cases, and there's multiple reasons why this happens. From the quality of...
Alex Rosen was in his early 30s. I might have got gaslit then. Somebody told me that he was like 24 years old and he looks like he's fucking 40.
Crime, the standard of proof, the investigation.
Someone told me he's got like Benjamin Button disease. Okay, that's not what they said, but he just looks really old. He's younger.
And the prosecution. There are so many things that can go wrong and often do go wrong.
He's like 25. Okay, my chat has no idea how old this guy is.
Which is why Wayne Barnett, a serial predator that we exposed, was previously released from prison without serving any substantial amount of time. despite the fact that he literally admitted to committing crimes and is still committing crimes to this day.
Well, maybe if somebody who had more knowledge on the laws and stuff and less of a fucking tact for cool, funky video editing got to have the opportunity that you had. And again, I don't know exactly what they did with Wayne, so I'm not gonna fucking... I don't know. Dude, I don't even know if Max could have done anything about this. I actually don't know. I never saw the Wayne video. Actually, no, the Wayne video is the video with the Tommy C things. I've jumped through it to see where he was talking about having sex with Tommy C, so I did see that part of the Wayne video. But... I don't know. Did he talk to Wayne?
We reported him months in advance to no success, which is why my videos have a...
Yeah, but like if I talk to you, Max, and when I ask you these questions, it's clear that you don't do anything with like the fucking police in mind, based off of our conversation that we had, unless you lied to me. One thing I didn't make clear in our first video where we reacted to Max was when he talked about the like the situation where I lied about him with well, the allegation that I lied about him with the guy that he'd gotten arrested, right? He claims I clipped him out of context when he was the one who invoked that example and didn't give a definitive no when we asked him and had follow-up questions to ask him to explain what he was saying further, right? So when I reached out to him in our conversation, I asked him this again, and he'd acted like he basically just couldn't give me a solid answer for it, and that's what I put in my video. Now, a year later, he's come back and said that he hears some messages with some guy who I couldn't verify, obviously. I wouldn't be able to. Or some message or whatever from a supposed friend of his that proves everything he said in that story was magically true. And it's like, I lied about him because I went and I asked him about it. And then he couldn't answer the question. And then a year later, he then supplied the internet with evidence, so I'm a bad guy? Like... Why didn't, after that conversation, why didn't you go and get all that stuff and give it to me back then? If we still had open DMs and you were able to message me. Like, how is it my fault if you didn't provide this to the public when we were asking for it back then? I can't go into your brain and go, hey, abracadabra, tell me what MamaMax really thinks or does. Right?
Call to action at the very end.
Okay, what's going on there, ma'am?
And he's still and again, he on top of all of that, right? I showed it in the video. He was going around posting a fake fucking police report to justify his claim, where he'd gotten the height and weight completely wrong. So like, it's not true. But if it was true, if it was true, it'd be pretty fucking like ridiculous.
So an individual named Camden Gerard Davis, more than likely resides at this, address. We believe that he is trafficking minors and
also he goes on in that interview to tell us, like, you should just assume that, like, most of what I do in these videos is fake. But then he gets extremely angry when we don't go, oh, obviously this is the real part. So which is it? Am I supposed to assume that most of what you're doing in these videos is fabricated for, like, effect, right? Or, like, the part that you need me to know is the real part. You get frustrated that I don't understand. It's, like, so stupid.
Has child on his devices. I'm actually a previous victim of his, and I have substantial evidence related to this case.
So I actually have tried working with law enforcement many times, and I've encouraged others...
Okay. This is I can't just let him play this. I have to go back and pull this up again. Let's go to the fucking interview. This is why I can't watch these videos. I'll just sit here fact-checking this for hours. And it's not, like, very watchable, I guess. MamaMax call. Let's go. Law enforcement. I think the word insure is probably the one that'll get me there. Okay. This is an ethical question, one of my favorite types of questions. In your previous investigations, what have you done to ensure that the evidence you're passing over to police is sufficient to get, prosecution? And what precautions do you take to make sure it's usable in a court of law?
So with Wayne's probably the best one.
Wayne's the best example.
I mean, we literally had him in a voice call. Like, it's like the Mega Drive. Like, it's literally us saying we're 14 years old. He's saying, yeah, I want to see your pussy. I want to see, like, I want you to ride me and shit like that. to what he thinks is a 14-year-old, and we verified that by telling him, like, I don't know, I'm young. I don't know, I'm only 14. I think that should be sufficient to put him in prison. But the law says otherwise, I suppose, because as far as I know, he hasn't been imprisoned, and people have been I received an email that someone was going to talk.
It's so funny because this is the same thing he's now putting in his video again. It's Wayne. I didn't realize that Wayne was the guy he used as an example here. It makes it even funnier now because, like, I asked him, "What do you do to to ensure that these things are like usable by a fucking court that's trying to prosecute these, or a prosecutor or whatever who's trying to put these people in jail?" And his response is, "I fucking shake my ass for the pedophile. I let him jack off to me, and then I post it online to social media. And for some reason, that's not leading to any arrests." Like, that's legitimately his fucking answer right now. This is crazy.
Slimy Weasley fuck.
Has anyone ever told you your voice sounds like if Michael Cera was from New Jersey? Have some money.
You know, since the H3 podcast stuff, yes. Never before that, though. In the last 2 months, I've heard it a ton. Thank you.
To the deputy about why he hasn't been arrested. And I'm also actually going to start interviewing police.
Yeah, what do you do to make sure your investigations are, like, leading to convictions? Well, I'm going to start interviewing my local police department. You mean the ones that are, like... And I think it's the local one. There's one that's very close to where he lives that was, like, shouting out fucking Alex Rosen, which is so funny in hindsight.
At least local to me as to why pedophiles don't get arrested.
Yes, I saw Ryan Smith's goal. I did see the end of the Knights game.
Because I know they all want to arrest them. It's just the law binds them.
The law binds them because these police officers want to put these pedos in jail, dude. What a brave fucking statement. What a useful fucking statement, dude. Thank you for answering my question. So you've never actually gotten a pedophile arrested?
Not to my knowledge.
So your content is just making fun of pedophiles online?
I suppose, like I said, my biggest goal is to inspire survivors to fight back. And if I can do that, then I feel like I've done an adequate job.
All right, dude. I don't think I have really anything else. Let me do one more. People who got mad at me at the next post section were like, "Oh, you didn't hit him hard enough here." It's like, why did I have to hit, like, not here, like at the end of the conversation after next post said a bunch of stupid shit about deleting messages. Like, it's like, oh, why doesn't Nick press him super hard right here in the phone call? It's like, all I have to do is play that clip and everybody understands why that clip is bad, right? All I have to do is play that clip and every single person will. Why do I have to say it to his face? The idea is to keep the conversation moving, get in, get out, right? Whenever you're doing these fucking high stakes calls where the person is like, could go off at any moment and leave and rage out of the call. You're just sitting here trying to get as much information as possible so you can reflect on it later. That's how I handle these interviews, how I always have. Or quick jump around. Like, I'm just scrolling through making sure every point that I thought I needed. And this is without Mutahar in the call, by the way. This is what Mutahar enabled me to do by getting me into this call. Right? I think that is more than sufficient. Dude, I'm sitting there like, I'm like frantically texting Muta, like, you gotta see this, bro, this is fucking crazy, or whatever. This is a crazy fucking clip we just got. Because at this point, like, midway through this conversation, I knew we were making a fucking video at that point. So I'm probably gonna dip out. Thank you for having this chat with me, Spencer. It was nice to finally speak with you. I wish both of you nothing but the best. And if that guy did that shit, I hope you find him. Like, I'm not even fucking sold that he did it in the call. I'm like, if that guy did that shit, I hope you find him. And Nick, I hope he goes to jail instead of just getting exposed online. And then it's a backhanded compliment to Max. I hope he goes to jail instead of just, you know, your regular YouTube exposed video where the guy makes fun of the pedo online.
Can I say something to you, Nick?
Absolutely. We've talked for a while.
I really like you.
Why? I'm like a rude piece of shit.
I agree.
Way for the right reasons, at least. Like,
yes.
I feel bad for, like, snapping the way I do, but I am
Don't worry, we went back and forth.
Trauma.
I don't want to... That is the dono sound, which is funny because Max knew exactly who I was. And now he's playing all these clips like he had no idea who he was talking to. He has no idea who he's talking to, but in all these clips, it seems like he very clearly knew exactly what I do on YouTube. Don't think that you've upset me in any way, and I hope I didn't upset you, and if I did, I apologize.
No, you're good, dude.
Yes, I also apologize for snapping. Like, tensions got high. We're passionate about this.
Yeah, I want to see these people get justice. That's
yes,
like
me too.
I know there's a difference between wanting to help somebody and being able to do that. And yes. I know if I could magically snap my fingers and help all of the people who are working with you, I would. But I know my own limitations, and those are not within my means. I think you need to reflect upon that, and I think you need to do something. I don't know what that is. I wouldn't have found myself in the position that you're in, to be honest. I don't envy the position that you're currently in. But what you're doing right now is not working. And I feel like talking to you in these ways, I feel like I'm not going to get through. So there's not really much else I can do to help you. I don't think I've helped, but I don't think I can do anything more to help than I didn't already do. Like, this is just good advice that he had taken. There were so many off points for MamaMax to reflect and stop doing what he was doing before this got to haywire. People came on his streams, they pleaded with him. People fucking told him in DMs, he ignored them. People fucking got on calls and gave him this information, okay? If he turned around and said, like, all right, I'm done, I'm not going to cover this anymore, I think even at this point, this could still have gone back. Or whatever. Maybe. I don't know. I think it was probably solidified when he said he just fucking makes fun of... Well, he admitted basically that he just makes fun of pedos online. I think the video was still coming out at that point. But, like, there's so many times he could have just walked this thing back and just did the right thing and handed it off.
Every conversation makes a difference. And I think the thing that sets you aside...
Oh, really? Every conversation makes a difference? Now Mutahar is not like... He doesn't have the iconic... musk of journalistic integrity, so you can't cover it.
Aside from most of your friends, as I believe you are a truth seeker, whereas they feel more self-serving. I say that because of how you defended Thomas. I say that because of your friendship with Zapti.
Dude, finally, someone who's Jesus Christ, dude, no way.
Does he go by Zapti?
But he's gone by Big B ever since the, Jesus Christ, dude, it's the first time this fucking got mentioned and it wasn't used as a fucking sword. The comeback, yeah.
Okay, so...
The way he's trying to yeah, he's selling me some bullshit right now. And you're a truth seeker, Nick. Yeah, I am. And I didn't buy this because you're not telling me the truth. Alright, back to the video.
To do
We're
so
still in the introduction, by the way.
As well.
If you are a victim and this ever happens to you, keep calling them and keep calling them and do not stop calling them until they do something. Do not give up.
Yeah, this whole like, oh no, I actually believe in the police thing is so stupid. Dude, you shake your ass for pedophiles online. Give me a fucking break.
But I guess since I didn't put a text graphic at the beginning of my video, which objectively proves Mutahar has in fact worked with law enforcement for these videos, that must mean I never worked with them.
And it's caused a serious problem in letting actual evil people walk free because of technicalities and failing to follow basic evidence.
How is he gonna deflect this? Because it's so fucking accurate.
Cherry patterns.
Yes. Evil people walk free because of me, MamaMax. It has nothing to do with the countless historical and systemic issues with CSA cases that...
Oh yeah, I forgot. This is like a systemic issue. Yeah, no, it's good. Yeah, yeah, dude, all those rape kits aren't being tested. You're right, Max. You're right. You've done nothing wrong.
Enable predators to commit crimes without consequence.
Yep.
No one else should be held accountable for these problems, not even the predators themselves.
Oh yeah, there's a pro predator take. Yep, 100%. Yep.
MamaMax is the primordial source for why predators walk free.
When in realistic fashion...
That is such a cop-out. That is a pathetic fucking deflection attempt. Holy shit, dude.
If law enforcement was involved, these people would be tried in a court of law.
In realistic fashion, law enforcement involvement does not guarantee that a predator will be arrested and tried in a court of law.
Okay, but MamaMax... Oh, hold on, wait. Hold on.
Involvement does not guarantee that a predator will be arrested and tried in a court of law.
Okay, but MamaMax involvement almost guarantees that they won't be tried in a court of law because you have a 0% success rate. I'm taking the fucking police every time. Every single time. If it comes down to you or the police, I am taking the police every single time. You have a 0% record.
It can take months, sometimes even years.
It could take forever if you go to MamaMax because nobody has ever been arrested
of reporting a single predator before an investigation.
Oh, we've got to take it into our own hands, dude. We got to shake our ass for pedophiles online.
Even begins, especially in cybercrimes with anonymous offenders.
That said, MamaMax has committed almost every single sin in the book.
I can't wait for you to provide some type of evidence to prove this theory of yours over the next hour of your video. Although it's hard to distinguish which sins I've committed when you don't even source the exact book that I'm supposedly breaking the rules of. I understand it's a figure of speech. It's actually another ad hominem attack.
Oh, an ad? Okay, dude. Jesus Christ, dude. This is so fucking stupid.
Where he continues to discredit me by using vague black and white terms instead of providing any facts up front.
In the hunt for who he believes is one of
This is actually like my fucking mortal enemy, dude. Actually, this is an appeal to authority. Actually, what you don't understand is that this is an ad hominem. Actually, dude, this is actually the worst video I've seen in a while. This is like everything I hate in a YouTube video personified.
The most evil predators currently walking in the world today.
I don't see the world in black and white terms like good and evil. I recognize that reality is far more complex and
Oh, you're so brave, dude. You watch Rick and Morty? You're very intelligent.
Predators suffer from unresolved trauma caused in their own childhoods. Rather than resorting to tribalistic labels like good and evil to justify the harm we inflict on one another, we should start prioritizing restorative justice and invest in mental health resources to break the cycle of suffering.
90% of people who are murderers in this country have a whole conglomeration of what are termed adverse childhood experiences that set you up for a brain that has a whole lot of trouble with empathy and impulse control and long-term planning.
Dude, this is so... How far away from what Mutahar actually argued in the video? Like, we're on, like, such a crazy tangent.
So negatively now.
Because you were harassed by cancel culture to disavow me after I fake canceled a very popular YouTube.
No, I'm sorry. You're not Nuxtaku, bro. You're not Nuxtaku. Dude, he saw Nuxtaku and went, oh my god, I can get it all back. I can get my grift back. It's so pathetic. I'm not watching any more of these videos. I'll watch this one. I might even finish it another day. But this is just like... It's so transparent how pathetic this is.
Just to bring awareness to a case I still believe is of great importance.
Because that's Mutahar's explanation as to why he called out Nuxtaku, was he was peer pressured to do it. Bro, this is ridiculous.
And although I did make mistakes, and I do take accountability for those mistakes, unlike you, who is too pathetic to take any accountability for your own actions in this situation, you...
See, dude, listen to this. He's so close to making a good argument.
Who is too pathetic to take any accountability for your own actions.
Cut to black. Good argument.
Unlike you, who is too pathetic to take any accountability for your own actions in this situation.
Nope, lost it. Unless we're talking about, like, the Night Docs thing, but... Again, that's after the main video comes out. Again, MamaMax has 2 points of attack. The second video at Night Docs and the live stream after the fact. I still don't know what's wrong with my original video, and I don't know what's wrong with the video here, because all of his issues with Mutahar in the original video that he'd made is that it's a hypocrisy argument for things he would say later, or a hypocrisy argument for, like, virtue signaling that he's done in the past. I have no idea how this makes him a good pedophile hunter yet.
You want to pin the blame of everything on me, and it's arguable.
And MamaMax is like the king of attacking and smearing his fucking critics. Like didn't he like do like he's gonna fuck Tommy C in the ass in the middle of a fucking pedo expose? He puts like a shitload of Tommy C personal QR codes, dude. He's the fucking guy who's caught on video saying, "I'm the pedo hunter. I could cancel you, Charlie," which of course now in hindsight is a joke.
That you have been more vocal and have had a much greater impact on the outcome of this case than I ever did. And then when I try to hold you accountable...
He's lucky, no... Whoa, wordsmith. No, you're not accurate here. You're wrong. You're actually so wrong right now. I actually hate to tell you this. You're actually wrong. He's lucky nobody scanned those because they're insane. Oh, they actually did scan them. They absolutely did scan them. And you know what? People in his audience were saying that Tommy C was a pedophile, and that's why Max included it. Go back and look through the stuff they were saying about Tommy from that time period. They saw no issue with those QR codes. In fact, they thought that Tommy was a future hunt. Okay? Because Tommy dare criticize the pedophile hunter man, which means he must want to fuck children. Oh, no. The jerk wave was way too strong to stop him there.
For your own actions, you tried to tell everyone.
Oh, he was being sarcastic? Well, I need to make that a point. Because people think like, oh, why didn't anybody say anything? Because if you said something around this point, you just called a fucking pedophile. That was just how it worked back then. If you criticized MamaMax in any other way or whatever, you were branded like a fucking child predator by his audience. That he wielded as a sword.
That I'm shifting the blame when that's actually what you are doing. That is why you're talking about me so negatively now.
Because again, like I said,
yeah, this whole video relies on nobody fact check. It's the same as the last one. If you go back and watch my first video, that whole video makes no fucking sense. And then like, I look at the stuff that he actually shows, I guess. Maybe he gets some yardage on the next post stuff and like Mutahar stuff. But for points that are related to me. If you go back and watch our leaked phone call with Spencer, this video looks stupid so far. Extremely stupid. It relies on us not investigating further.
Has recently made several videos, 3 in particular, making what I believe...
He made up an IMVU girl killing herself. I think that was an allegation. I forget if that turned out to be true. But I can't remember. That was a while ago. I think he created a fake IMVU girl. I remember something about that, but I don't know.
To be a mockery of these types of serious...
Hi, Magnetar. Interesting. Magnetar, have you come up in any of these videos so far? Or did we just forget you existed? Or does he just... I'm sorry, does he just forget you existed or whatever? Because it's not really... He said later that she was alive and doing... Oh, the IMVU girl. Yeah. Magnetar got screwed over majorly too. It's interesting. I haven't seen a lot of Magnetar yet in these videos.
Investigation.
He mentions Haley and the girls in the last one. Oh.
Oh, my videos were a mockery.
Human trafficking and destructive cults are not just issues in distant lands.
Wait, this is in his video. This is an unironic cut? Was that an unironic cut? Hold on, wait.
These types of serious investigations.
Oh, my videos were a mockery.
Human trafficking and destructive cults are not just issues in distant lands or plot lines in crime shows.
But yours and your friends were not?
Oh, and this is a video. This fucking live stream highlight after all this was said and done. Yeah, this is the video, all right. This is what I posted on my main channel to expose you. We just sat there and made fun of you for 2 hours or whatever.
You're gonna make me look...
Holy fucking shit, dude. That's an insane cut.
Bad, by the way. This is gonna make us all...
Yeah, dude, skibbity voice, bro.
Look bad, apparently.
Dude, this was
that's a good point. Yeah, she put a message out and was like, "Oh, I actually look really good in that call." So the jokes on it, they released it. Yeah, nice.
I've seen ghosts. I look great in this call.
Yeah, wait, she said she looked great in the skull?
Yeah.
Oh, she's still retarded.
Yeah, dude.
Making what I believe to be a mockery of these types of serious investigations. Max has covered a story he claims is peppered with human trafficking, cult worship, and brainwashing, and violent abuse. Topics that are incredibly serious, and as I've said, I am not a key expert on.
You see, you keep saying that, but you continue to speak as if you are the expert.
By the way, also, just to be clear, we released that video separately. You didn't have to watch our fucking commentary doing our fucking party stream after the drama was over. At the same time, I believe that stream was released, we put out the full uncut call that you could have watched without any of us. And I think over 100,000 people did, right? MamaMax. I think there were tons of people who watched without our fucking extra commentary. Yeah, 200,000 people. 300,000 watched with us and 200,000 watched without us. Both of which, by the way, are confirmed by review, limited ads, if you want to know how much money I made off of it.
Am not an expert. That said, MamaMax has committed almost every single sin in the book because I'm not an expert. As I've said, I am not a key expert on. Look, I'm not an expert.
If you are not an expert, then why do you continue to speak on this topic?
Dude, I'm done. I can't listen to this fucking guy anymore. I actually think I'm done. Dude, why do you... Dude, you begged him. You begged us to talk about it. You begged us for months to talk about this fucking story, dude. Holy shit. I actually can't. It's literally like, oh, you're not an expert, you shouldn't speak on it, after they disagree with you. This guy's literally begging every influencer on planet Earth to cover his fucking story.
As if you are...
It's because people think critically about it. Every influencer covering it is great when they say pedo bad, MamaMax good. The second that they engage with the subject matter of the video, oh, you're not an expert. Fuck you. Get out of here. Fucking snake. What are you trying to do? Derail these victims? Oh my god.
Are the expert.
Topics where real victims exist and continue to
this is psychotic.
Exist on a daily basis.
This is true.
And also, he is not an expert. Why is he doing that? Why are you leading 8 women, as I said previously, to slaughter? That's what it is. It's slaughter. Why are you leading 8 women to slaughter if you're not an expert on something like this? He's the fucking guy from Family Guy, where it's like, if I could just get my hands in there, I could save my mother's life. I know I'm not a surgeon, but if I could just start, whacking her heart around a little bit, I'm sure I could fix her. Maybe just sit this one out and stop getting these women's stop getting their hopes up, I guess. You should leave a comment about him lying on you. Other viewers will be fooled. I don't really care, to be honest. I think if you're gonna just watch MamaMax a year later uncritically, then I don't think a YouTube comment is going to sway you. My videos are up. They stand for themselves. You can open the playlist. You can watch as little or as much as you want. You can watch the main channel one.
I want people to think my videos to be fake as the expert in this.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, sure. I want my videos to be viewed as fake as the expert. Yeah, you're right. Again, the best thing I can do to point you to find out what kind of person MamaMax is that debunks majority of his claims is just watching the video that I posted in January of last year. And if you see people say shit, link them the video, I guess. Otherwise, I don't really know what I can possibly do here. This guy's getting 30 to 50K on these videos. I don't think he's swaying the vast majority of people anytime soon. The most charitable stuff here is people mad at me for jokes way after the fact, but still saying that MamaMax is a total fucking complete snake. And I'm going to be honest with you, I'm okay with that. I'm perfectly fine with that being your take.
Real victims continue to exist on a daily basis. So why...
The real ones know Nick is right? No, the vast majority of people know that Nick is right.
Then did you ignore them and prioritize covering Sniper Wolf drama that is already getting covered by everyone else, when these real victims were just asking for 15 minutes of...
Because the Mutahar show isn't, hey guys, today we're going to be listening to Spencer's viral rape story. Hey, what's going on? Me, Mutahar here, and today we're going to be listening to the child exploitation of Spencer. Spencer, what's going on? Please tell the audience every single thing that's ever happened to you. Wow, that's terrible. Check out more Mutahar next time on Linux Review. Woo! What are you asking for here? The reason why he covered Sniper Wolf is it's a safer topic. The reason why he didn't cover your vampire sex cult crazed fucking because it's unverified, unvetted allegations publicly platformed on a gigantic channel.
Your attention.
So let's get started. This is the story of how MamaMax has failed what he considers a very serious investigation, and a prime example of how YouTubers should not be involved with serious situations like this.
So that concludes the introduction for MamaMax is a complete fraud. Let's review what Mutahar said here. He claims that this is his most serious video. He then lies about not wanting to make this video, which then, why did you make it? He doesn't...
I don't think that that's even a lie. I think it's a trope to say that, so it's possible that he is. But considering that you're a former friend of his, I don't think that you've demonstrated for a matter of fact that's a lie.
Consider me a friend anymore. Same to him. He poisons the well for the audience, saying that I'm a liar.
But he delivers on the poison. The video you're saying that the well is poisoned now because he said bad things early. But if that is a poisoned well, he clearly delivers on it throughout the course of the video you haven't seen yet. Or you haven't shown yet.
Apparently he is not. He then admits he has no reason to be poisoning the well. He's not an expert on this topic. He makes lighthearted content. He sometimes dips into serious stuff. He's not an expert on this topic. He doesn't think we're equipped to handle these topics. He gives an overview of my channel. He implies that I hunt for clicks and revenue.
You do.
Blames me for systemic issues with CSA.
The most annoying thing I've seen about this is people trying to say in post hoc rationalization that MamaMax probably maybe, even Mutahar has kind of said this, right? That he thinks MamaMax really cared about these subjects. I think that's like the biggest whitewashing I've seen so far. I don't believe that MamaMax cares about this shit at all. I think that he's like a chief fucking turbo clout gobbling fucking subscriber consumer. I don't think that for a second.
He spreads misinformation.
If anything, after watching some of this stuff, I am more sure this is just back to getting the grift set up so he can build that Patreon back up and start hunting fake pedos online.
About law enforcement.
Or real pedos online that he has no intention of getting arrested.
He says I committed every single sin in the book. He claims my videos are a mockery of serious investigations, even though he never had a...
Oh yeah, then what is Max doing if he's not poisoning the well right now? Yeah, I mean, he's playing like 50 clips from an unrelated live stream that was way after the fact. Okay, yeah, I didn't even think of it like that. That's another good point.
Problem beforehand, and also he seems to think he and his friends are exempt from this criticism for some reason. He's not an expert on this topic. And victims continue to exist on a daily basis. So out of this entire introduction, I think he only states 2 facts. I would say that him not being an expert is factual, but technically expertise can be viewed as subjective, so I'll give him that one. But he made some very big claims for this introduction, yet failed to provide any evidence to support these claims.
But Max, that's what the rest of the video is for.
And we will get to that. But he did spend the entire introduction just assassinating my character before providing any facts to set the stage for the audience on the story.
That's what an intro is. Bro, dude, he must hate my intro. An intro is a mission statement that you aim to prove with the video. You don't provide all of the clips, then it's not an intro. That's exactly what an intro is. I mean, I give it to Mutahar. Like, his stuff is not like video essay content. But if you watch mine, you want to say that's poisoning the well. Listen to this shit. I deliver on every fucking claim I make in the beginning. Hi, my name is Nicholas DeOrio. Before we get started today, I'm going to be clear and concise about what this video will prove. Today, you're going to see undeniable evidence that MamaMax is a complete and total fraud. He is a content creator who claims his platform exists to empower abuse survivors, and the reality is, MamaMax is a liar. His actions in the past and present paint a far more sinister picture. Right off the bat, this video does contain clips of the leaked recording between myself, MamaMax, and Mutahar of Some Ordinary Gamers. If Max has an issue with how he is portrayed in this video, I consent to the full call being released. I am not afraid. In the event where Max tries to bully me with threats of getting my channel banned, this video removed, or anything else through use of YouTube contacts, which he has done to content creators who have exposed him recently. This is literally me right now with a fucking with processing done to my voice. It's literally the same me. I will not hesitate to drop our full, uncut recording for the entire internet to see. I will not be silenced, and you will get everything that's coming to you.
Max is supposed to be the one bringing the story across to everyone. And yes, if in the case that everything is actually...
you said this is pre-pinball? Wait, oh, sorry, wait, this is my clip, listen.
The one bringing the story across to everyone. And yes, if in the case that everything is actually...
Why is it my job? Yeah, why are you putting it all on me? Like,
because it's your case!
One bringing it. Why are you...
Absolutely, I am the first one.
Okay. You can actually see in the leaked call, my voice is exactly identical as it is here, because that wasn't processed. But you could tell this is like at the end of it, because, yeah. It's your pinball channel! Hey guys, I missed everybody. Hello to all the new people too. I don't know if this video... There's a pinball machine in the video. This is my favorite part of this. I didn't feel like filming a whole new segment after all this was said and done, and Max made like another video, so I posted this.
Nicholas, the goat. Thank you.
Hey,
for the
what's going on, guys?
man.
While I was editing my video, I found out that Max tried to beat us out and post a really poorly edited video where he claims to be taking accountability. Shockingly, not much accountability was taken. The video was panned. He tried to launch a GoFundMe that was canceled by the time I woke up this morning. I think the only people who donated were a $5 donation that was anonymous and then Max himself. It's pretty clear he just tried to get out ahead of what was inevitably coming because there's not really much he can do to salvage this situation. And, I mean, in the future, if I make a part 2, I'll definitely go over it. But for now, I'm just going to leave you with the hemorrhaging subscribers he's losing on his main channel after posting it, and this absolutely hilarious ending that had to be scripted. I simply don't believe this happened naturally. Oh, and just a reminder, for people who think that you're not important, you've caught just as many predators as Max Striker. You know, this was recent. This is we did this last year. That was how I walked off the video, because I wasn't going to do I ended up breaking it down in the second video, but I didn't really feel the need to add it. I just wanted to acknowledge that it existed. This is pretty funny. I want to watch this one more. This is my conclusion for the video. Then we're going to walk out of here. Wait, I don't know. Wait, why did I put this one in? This I should have cut out of the video. This didn't need to be in here. Alright, I'm done with Fortnite. Let's get out of here. Maybe I'll cover the rest of this video. Maybe I won't. It's kind of a waste of my time. More interjection. I had to look this up because I remembered it and I couldn't believe this was true, but Max actually reached out to me to ask if I wanted to be put in a group chat because he was dropping something that was going to make waves in the community, and it was fucking this. It was literally this song. Like, this diss track on Pios was gonna blow the airwaves wide open. I'm done.
It's at this point one of the more weird and eyebrow-raising lines pop out on the entire track.
Oh no.
It's like a song he made about fucking pedophiles. Now, obviously, this is edited. I have to do this because, like, the denims thing. Anthony Fantano is not really reacting to this. It's a meme.
Anthony Fantano, MamaMax, forever.
In conclusion, this video proves that Max Striker is a complete and total fraud. His persona MamaMax is a freak who does not help children prosecute their abusers. He hunts predators online as a soldier of fortune. He lies about his accomplishments to bolster his credibility. He manipulates his audience of abuse survivors by not disclosing large portions of his content are completely fake, and he uses credibility he never deserved in the first place to silence and ruin other people's lives. Just look at how he treated Tommy C. The man was Max's first real persistent critic, and during the videos he was supposedly hunting predators, Max took time out of his day to create a QR code campaign about Tommy and talk about sexually dominating him. The stuff on screen right now is completely psychotic, and even more so with the information we now know about how fraudulent Max's activities have been. I mean, someone just said Carl Job's cadence. I was watching a shitload of Carl. I do think that kind of poked through for sure. It definitely did with the music. The music was homage, but I did kind of do a bit of the speech pattern, yeah. Look at the comments. Look at what people said to Tommy, just because he spoke up and questioned the current narrative. MamaMax does not deserve anyone's support. MamaMax does not deserve a second chance. This is not a community that can offer one. This is a malicious person who preys on his supporters. He is the predator to them. To the girls Max...
Holy crap, I had a whole ass sleep and woke up to this still going GG all.
is helping fight against Camden Gerard Davis. You claim to have escaped one cult. Don't be foolish now and fall into another. And MamaMax, this part is me, speaking directly to you. I know you, Max. I know how you operate. My friends and I know what you're about to say, so we have to spell it out for you. Yo, John Swan, drop the bass.
Though we are different, we are all the same. Because above all else, there's one thing that holds us together. We don't like P-words.
Camden Gerard Davis is a child predator that has molested hundreds of children under the pretense of a vampire werewolf cult. It's absolutely crucial that we spread awareness of him.
Camden Gerard Davis's time is up. He's about to be exposed.
Camden Gerard Davis, you're going to jail.
There is a pedophile pretending to be a vampire. So if you come across Cameron Gerard Davis, be sure to contact MamaMax immediately in order to get this guy arrested for charity fraud.
What's that, Camden? Who are you?
Nicholas,
someone in my chat was just talking about you. Thank you for the pride.
Hashtag we are real.
Hey Camden, Jared Davis. Should I say, don't feel depressed just because you're a vampire werewolf and people are saying mean to you. The Leviathan will come for your enemies. Game patient.
Condone Gerard Davis is a stupid name and he gets no fucking bitches! You vampire piece of shit!
We are real. What Camden Gerard Davis, whatever you may or may not have done. I'm not really sure.
Camden Gerard Davis. Those teeth are fake. They make you look stupid. And
I am watching the Shelbo
the Shelbo stuff.
CCI dubs, and where the hell did dude come
It came
from?
out of nowhere, bro.
To donate at this point.
He
Cold
snuck
sweat,
in.
Smile, tears of joy,
Thank you.
tears of joy.
Thank you.
no such thing as a black vampire.
Cameron, Gerard the Completionist. Where's the charity money? The Leviathans are coming for you.
How's it going, everyone? Here in my garage. I want to give a quick shout out to Cameron Pro Jared the Completionist. Shout out to you, my dude.
The time for action is now. MamaMax needs our help. Camden Gerard Davis. MamaMax needs our help.
Well, hello.
Dude, everyone was like, holy shit, you got Frogan. Do you remember this? When they were like, I can't believe Frogan's in the video.
Camden Gerard Davis. So I've been told to roast you because you wear werewolf teeth, and I guess you think that's cool. And
I used to use, when I was making these videos, I would try to include something off of, not Fiverr, what is the, Cameo, because Cameo is so free, people don't use it, but you can get big YouTubers to say extremely stupid stuff in your videos all the time for like $20.
I've been told to tell you to stop making friends in Texas. I'm sure you would like to be on this beach with your werewolf teeth.
Cameron Gerard Davis, more like Cameron Gerard Gavis, am I right? Because that dude is cringe as fuck.
Camden Gerard Davis, the Leviathan is coming for you, whatever that is. I wasn't given much context.
As a member of the Chinese Communist
No, it aged poorly. It aged poorly. Doc on the radio, no.
Party, Camden Gerard Davis, we are coming for you.
Honestly, I have no fucking clue.
Dude, why is Sky Williams? Dude, it aged poor. No, I'm kidding. Dude, Sky Williams.
Camden Gerard is, but I'm just happy to be included.
Camden Gerard.
Dude, it's Scott Schaefer.
I'm
I forgot Scott Schaefer. was
standing
in here.
on your plot of land purchased from established titles, and I will be notifying Mama.
Wait, this was so funny back. Dude, me and Scott Schaefer got into a fight on established titles. When I came back, he came to do this fucking... Dude, this is such a fun shout out. I actually respect him so much for coming on and doing
Camden Gerard is, but I'm just happy to be included.
Camden Gerard Davis. I am standing on your plot of land purchased from established titles, and I will be notifying MamaMax when you arrive.
Dude, that's so fun. I'm sorry. That is such a Kino YouTube reference, bro.
Beware, ladies and gentlemen, hiding in your local inner cities could be Camden Gerard Davis, who's not only a vampire pedophile, but a vampire werewolf hybrid pedophile. Not many people know that fact about him.
We'll see you, probably never again.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Oh, fuck, dude. That one was good. We watched the last outro last time. The Anthony Field stuff, yep. Oh, man. Where is Joe Rogan? Do we cover that? Is that in this one? I put like a Carl Jobst Easter egg because I was watching a shitload of Carl at this point. It turned out to be kind of like the ones that Billy have been posting since, which is really funny. Joe Rogan.
Claims he needs help from all of these YouTubers, from, checks notes, Joe Rogan to Anthony Fantano, yet he refuses to accept any form of...
Oh, we didn't play the actual clip. No, we didn't, that was a mistake on my part. Yeah, We didn't actually play, but that was the on screen was
in to Anthony. Help from all of these YouTubers, from Checks Notes, Joe Rogan to Anthony.
You've welcomed a diverse range of guests onto your podcast, offering different perspectives on various issues. As a father yourself, you would be an ideal person to help disseminate our message.
Sub Fantano, yet he refuses. Checks Notes, Joe Rogan to Anthony Fantano.
The banger you're currently enjoying is Replicant's Army by Filmmaker. We believe that your audience would appreciate this fiery composition. Would you consider exposing them?
Like, this is so fucking cringe, dude. This is so fucking cringe, dude. Again, if you want to watch anything, just start from the evidence against MamaMax. Oh, the investigation of Max Stryker forward is probably the most relevant stuff. I'm sorry. Wait, one more time. One more time. Yeah, why is this a very highly watched part of the video? Oh, it's the Anthony Field stuff. Where is the end? Yeah.
Keemstar, remember when you were making out with your first girlfriend and you came right as she touched your leg? It was me. I jerked you off at super speed so it seemed like you nutted at just a woman's touch.
I actually asked him to do this a while back, and he did it, so I included it.
There's one more topic on the docket that we need to...
This is a good video, dude. I'm sorry. Like, I really do think this is worth your time. I would say this is probably... Where is the... I've shown you my... Oh, what... Oh, dude, that's what it is. I've shown you my... Shown you. Is it not in this video? Is it the second video? Perverts.
Show, we can count at least one time Max has sent pictures of his own ass to perverts online so they can record themselves beating off to it. But we can't count at least one time Max has investigated a predator that has led to an arrest.
I could not get his name, his personal social media, and above all else, I could not get his face, at least until I sent him a picture of my ass.
Oh shit!
And yes, that is my actual ass. So why don't you go to Patreon and support me sending my ass to pedophiles, ruining their pitiful little lives after my ass makes them horny enough to send me a picture of their face that I then publish to all of you.
Somebody get this guy's Patreon. We need to fund this operation more. So just to clarify, the vast majority of Max's content is fake. He's flabbergasted that you stupid viewers thought it was real. He's also lied about getting arrested to try to bolster his credibility in the past, and he can't even keep his story straight now. Finally, when asked...
Yeah, can't even get his story straight now. A year later, comes back with an entirely...
He does to make sure his investigations are ethical and could lead to prosecution, Max more or less confirms that he's a content vigilante with no ethical framework for serious stories. I hope now it's become evident why he responds so dramatically to the slightest criticism. Max is a liar. Max is a con artist. And now everyone knows it.
Is there a single person that MamaMax can point to that he can claim conclusively was arrested as a result of one of his investigations or reports?
Have you ever gotten someone arrested?
If I have, then I don't know.
If you actually watched his other videos, like the one on IMVU, he tried to do the exact same thing.
Because it's a scam! Because it's a scam!
Tommy, did you know
By the way, I don't use this song anymore because I took it from the Content Nuke Ethan Klein video. No, the Content Nuke Keemstar video. This is a song from that, and I'm going to remember to put it in the description. This is a version of that song. It's not the exact song that Ethan Klein used, so it's actually by the artist RZR. I was unaware that this was not the exact one that Ethan used, and this is a different song entirely. Closed Gates by RZR at Catacomb Music. I just want to specify that right now, because I don't use it anymore, because I didn't know it was uncredited. I assumed it was whatever version that Ethan was using that was fair use.
That one,
the guy was cool with, as far as I'm aware, but I said because I'd used it uncredited in the past, I wouldn't do it again.
Claims he got one person in jail, but he won't reveal their identity.
Yes, because it's a scam.
The IMVU thing, I wasn't. I don't know why people are saying like it's a film. Like I am presenting it as if it were to be real, but I didn't think people would take it as that. Like, so I want everyone, when you watch my video, to assume everything is fake, except like when I show a pedo's face and what they're doing.
What bothers me is your answer right there. You've been doing this for 5 years and you don't know how the process goes? How many people have you actually caught?
I've never been to court.
Oh, well then shit, that makes sense then. There you go, folks.
I'm glad
you're a vigilante for views only. You're a vigilante for views only.
People give Xylee a lot of shit. This is a fucking A1 call out. This is very good. So you've never actually gotten a pedophile arrested?
Not to my knowledge.
So your content is just making fun of pedophiles online?
I suppose, like I said, my biggest goal is to inspire survivors.
It did what it needed to do. The rapist that was in the video is currently
He used a voice changer on a podcast.
in police custody. And it
was that as a result of your video, or was that prior to the video?
Yes, it was because of the video.
You went on and you said, this guy was arrested, it was because of me, it was because of my video.
It's kind of egotistical of me to say that it was my video that did it. I don't know that for sure.
But then you said recently that he fled to the Philippines. So was Sonny ever arrested? Pablo Sonny? Did that ever even happen?
Pablo Sonny? I don't think so. I think he got away.
I'm using you to deflect criticism. I am still getting criticism.
Bruh.
How are they shielding? They're not shielding me from anything. I am still getting criticism.
People have been playing that card for so long. Oh, you use survivors to shield from criticism. I've never shielded myself from. I almost always just get criticism. Well, I'm asking why you did not directly contact me, but contact us only in public streams.
Max, I've seen your latest video caught up with this whole situation. I have texted you.
What it felt like seeing him on streams.
You went on with...
Hold on, can you put Max on for a second?
I'm right here.
That was snaky as dude. Oh, I'm coming after you, Mutahar. Stand back, Spencer. Can you tell him what you felt? You are literally just a little snake hiding behind her, dude. That's disgusting.
Will you listen to me?
The majority... So if Max's big takeaway is that we're as bad at hunting pedophiles as he is, I actually agree with him. I don't intend to take on 8 victims and launch an investigation on a vampire werewolf cult in the future. So I guess we have we'll reach a stalemate there. I could agree to disagree, I guess. If that's his big takeaway. You see, being as bad as MamaMax at hunting pedophiles is not something that... I never claimed to be good at it, so it only really hurts his reputation if he's bad. It doesn't really hurt mine if I am. Yeah, he threw the victim in Muda. God, I think it's a fire video. Oh God, it's still getting views too. I wonder what is the negative comments from recently. Oh, dude, Jesus, Guild of Divinity. Camden commented. Wait, why is everyone in my comment section Camden Gerard Davis's face? What the fuck? Now we know that Camden Gerard Davis is actually code for number 4s and number 6s, 2 5-layer burritos. I'm going to bed, man. I don't know. God. Yeah, this is... But people are like, why did you not rush to cover this? I just watched MamaMax's response. The way he paints this video is frankly disgusting. He does not deserve any good faith. I feel like if this guy is really guilty of what Max claims, it will be as a consequence of MamaMax that he faces no consequence. That's what your username is delicious. Thank you. I have no idea who MamaMax is, but holy shit, that voice changer is infuriating cringe. It's like, well, Nick, you got to come out here and explain this. I haven't logged into this account. Nothing is being hidden here. Nobody thinks his stuff is good. So yeah, I don't know. You would think that this is the place that I would start to see some hate, and I'm not. So I think the majority of people don't really support his comeback. Except for, I guess, Nerd City, maybe, potentially. All right, guys. We're gonna do Amaranth next stream. Maybe I cover more MamaMax, but I feel like most of it is gonna be me getting mad and then playing parts of my video that debunk things that he says. So I don't really know how much more value we can get out of it.
Lolly, Chud Logic just tipped $1. If you would have sucked a real GOCK, you wouldn't be here, dumbass.
Okay, great. I won't care because I don't care.
That's what I mean.
Add yourself. Kevin.
That's what I mean.
I just want.
Dude, it's a streamer's worst nightmare when you try to cover something and then the chat jumps in and starts sending fucking brutal shit. I think the funniest thing that happened in commentary history was we were watching.
I recommend watching Nicholas DeOrio's.
We were
latest
watching the EDP expose, and if you guys weren't there when the Predator poachers went after EDP, there was a DM reveal live stream, a live event, where this woman in like
Nicholas,
I don't know what she was wearing. She looked like a 1970s Southern housewife. She had like the table counter as her outfit, if that makes sense. You know, like she looked like she was dressed in the tablecloth. And she was sitting there reading all these messages. A trad wife. Yeah, she looked like a trad wife. That's what that's probably more accurate. The trad wife lifestyle. So she was reading all these messages of EDP, like sexting minors or something. Like all the evidence that they had. And then while it was happening, you fuckers started donating.
Where were you during World War H3? The war to end all internet
I was here,
wars.
dude. I was streaming. Wait, I'm going to say something right now, and then immediately I'm going to be cut off. Okay, so during the...
Slimy Weasley.
There it is. There it is, chat!
Laura
Thank
and
you.
Maddie HD. We're eating good. Looking forward to this one. Saint Nick. Maybe you can send this $50 to Bo Blacks for his down payments?
Yeah, no, we're not going to give Bo Blacks any money. We've got to talk about him
watching
briefly.
Nicholas DeOrio's latest video.
Okay, so... we were doing this live stream. The EDP thing was going off. We were streaming at the same time, covering it. Like, we were stream sniping it to go over it. Because, like, we were, I guess, skeptical or something related to their... I don't know. I forgot why we were covering it live. But me, Augie, Bo Blacks, and a couple other people were live. And they were donating, like, investigate Augie.
Yourself, Keffels.
It's like, Nick is a pedo, go get him.
DeOrio.
Or it was like, Bo Blacks is a little fucking weird. Why don't you look into that guy? And then she's answering the super chats during this fucking pedo expose live stream. Like, oh, we'll look up Augie RFC immediately. Ah, Nicholas DeOrio, we'll look into that guy. Oh, Bo Blacks. Yeah, I feel like a few people have donated that guy's name. We're gonna investigate him at once. That was one of the most fucking insane things that's ever happened. I did see this today. It's from the H3H3 subreddit. By the way, first of all, if anybody ever says, like, they don't like that Nick says the word retard or something, you don't have to go and defend me on this. There are people who are not going to be, like, jiving with what we do here on the stream. I'm not, like, curtailing my content for whatever they want, but that means it's totally okay if people don't like me for, I guess, reasons related to me being mean on live stream or saying no words or something. That's totally fine. I have no issue with that. I kind of expected that, to be honest. So somebody wrote, I'm going to be honest here. I don't like either of these people, and seeing them on this sub bums me out. I don't really like how either people speak about others, and it's really fucking grossing me out to see Papa Gut using an AI thing to make people kiss. Oh no. I know I see it in here and it's really fucking gross, dude. Somebody finally has had enough of the Papa Gut smooch stealing, you know? No more Papa Gut kisses, dude. I have been AI abused constantly, okay? I've been AI abused and it's time to tell my story. MamaMax, I'm ready for the documentary.
I want you to know this man is a fraud purely on the basis he doesn't know what killer bean is.
We're gonna
and
get
thought the
there.
models were
Killer
frauds.
beans, dude. We're gonna get there. I'm gonna talk about that in a second.
Nicholas, the goat. Thank you for the $5, my man.
Oh god, the memory glitch has already happened. I don't know what's going. A few people have this glitch where the memory thing on the website just breaks when YouTube chat goes off, and it's already breaking.
What's the
for
name
me.
of the guy? Keemstar Orbiter.
All right.
DeOrio.
I wanted to
Mr.
make this
Oreo.
meme really quick. Oh, we don't have a Wiggler. We don't have a Wiggler. I'm so sorry. All right, we're going to change Wigglers in a little while. So I wanted to briefly mention this right before our segment. This is the last little intro doodah. Bo Blacks has a Blue Sky account. I believe we've gone from Joshy to Josie. That is Bo Blacks' new name. The support from the H3 fan base in my decision to transition and come out as non-binary has meant the world to me, only after seeing a negative reaction to it since I came out last summer. So I just want to address what Bo Blacks leaves out here constantly when people see this, when this is getting posted and talked about everywhere, because we're like apparently big, huge monster men.
Slimy Weasley fuck.
Terrible,
Did you
giga
get your dancing
transphobes.
frogs?
Yes, I got the dancing frogs. Thank you. For context, Bo Blacks came out by falsely accusing me of outing him without his consent. Just to be clear, okay? The reason why and the introduction to Bo Blacks being non-binary is literally from him accusing me of exposing him for being non-binary. So that's like immediately context to an entirely separate drama. He's not going to Kevin Spacey his way out of this one. Now, he didn't touch anybody or do anything like that, but like coming out and going, by the way, guys, I'm gay, right in the middle of a controversy is going to probably lead to some mean comments. I'm going to be honest with you. That's probably going to happen. Most of the issues that people were having were due to that. Then, simultaneously, the time when people saw Bo Blacks was like really, you know, cross-dressing and stuff came when they found his penis. Most people's reaction to Bo Blacks transitioning in this community was when his penis was posted on their timeline. Okay? When they found out he did pornography against their will, they didn't search it. They didn't look it up. They logged in on January 11th and they saw Bo Blacks' penis. Okay? The H3 community didn't have to find out that way. That's going to play a factor in what people talk about. Okay, yeah, my whole chat is talking about 111, okay? I didn't sign up to see Bo Blacks' Pikmin, all right? That's going to have some sort of like effect on what people will say.
Problems here, Nick. I'll help you maximize your money, all right?
Every part of Bo Blacks coming out was delivered in the worst possible way.
I just saw Keffel's tweet, Nicholas DeOrio.
And obviously, the last little thing I'm going to say there is he didn't treat Tipster with the utmost respect, and they didn't see Tipster's penis on the timeline. Tipster just came out and said that he was fucking...
I really like you.
Why? I forgot. What is Tipster again? Tipster's pansexual. Yeah, he didn't give the same level of charitability the H3 community has given him to Tipster, so I could really care less what people say about Bo Blacks.
Thank you for the $5.
So that's that's the little Bo Blacks of the day. We're gonna keep doing Bo Blacks of the day up until I feel like we've done enough Bo Blacks of the day after he pulled the fucking comment cop thing. Did you see this? I'm already derailing tonight. It's my stream. I can derail when I want to. It's my stream. I can derail when I want to. Leave my content behind. I saw this just now before we watched Connor. Imagine having an employee secretly prepping against you the whole time and yoinking your friends, sad losers, at RealX8, at AnonBird, at Bo Blacks, at Augie, at Internet Versus. And then I wrote, Minx just found out about the Internet Versus Connor lore. But then she doesn't know who Connor is. I don't know what's going on, chat.
On Nicholas DeOrio.
This is obviously in reference to like Bo Blacks and Connor's new like Bo Blacks replacement show. Like the new Twitter verses, but Minx doesn't know who Connor is. So she's only got half the information, chat. We've got to fill her in, okay? So Bo Black said, I know, right? Bro asked to work with me on Twitter verses, so I let him help me daily for 6+ months, teaching him exactly how I make them. He then made a channel called Internet Versus, quits and ripped off everything I do, exactly down to the background music. Again, all of these people got their background music, I'm pretty sure from my old videos. I think that, like, I heard Tipster use his background music, Bo Blacks had his background. I used all this royalty-free dog shit music back when I first started YouTube in 2018, okay? Bro didn't even fucking level up. But it's just so funny that Bo Blacks is acting like Twitter Versus is such an intricate series that nobody could ever replicate. Like, you could do this with your fucking... You could do this with your eyes closed. He takes the Twitter logo, blurs it, puts it behind a shitty picture of somebody's face. That's your thumbnail. And then he just Googles some shit and reads what people said on Twitter, reads it all in one short, like, OBS recording video, cuts it up, and I guess for him it takes like 6 hours. For any other normal person, it would take like 20 minutes, hits render and post. That's all these videos are. Dude, you're acting like fucking Connor went to trade school to learn how to make these fucking videos and then became a bigger brand than you. I'm not still muted. You're lying to me. Jesus. And by the way, Boblax's whole legacy is being an archive channel of posting other people's content, right? The reason why any of you know who Boblax is because he fucking got struck by Pokemon for archiving their Twitter conversations. He's a generational dick rider who started adding his own voice in, but then started to fail when he added the opinion to go with the voice. He was fine with the voice. People listened to that. They watched that. Once people heard what Boblax had to say about any of this shit, then all of a sudden the views started going down. And speaking of downward-facing views, Boblax has 194,000 views in the last 28 days. Connor has 195 views in the last 48 hours. Holy shit, dude. It seems like there's something in the water over at Twitterversus land. Why are we not getting these numbers? It might be because Boblax is like a lazy fucking sack of shit who can't post any content on his fucking channel. He had to grind his ass off to post a couple videos for a month. And that was like a big deal for him. He can't post Twitterversus more than once a week, I guess. I don't know. Like, I have no idea how he makes this content so slowly. Let's see the output really quickly. Boblax on Twitter, showing his Twitterversus numbers. And then let's pull up Internet Versus, somebody who is apparently, he's learned from the master, okay? And just doesn't smoke weed all day. Somebody who's not like terminally addicted to weed can post 5 hours ago, two videos a day.
I really like
2 videos a day on Internet Versus. Let's check and see what Boblax has been doing. What is this, 4 videos a month? Dude, I wonder why his channel is not outperforming Internet Versus. It's almost like somebody with a work ethic was able to do this. Holy shit, dude. Let's see, where's the 1 month point? The 1 month point right here. Internet Versus. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. And during this month, I believe he also did... Yeah, this is during the month. He did a multi-day live stream event. Okay? Boblax has posted 1, 2, 3, 4. and the one before that was for the Minecraft movie. Dude, I wonder, bro. Holy shit, dude. Are you saying 195 views is better than 194,000? Yes, dude. That's exactly what I'm saying. This is so funny. Is there like a... Yeah, this is... Dude, 8.1k on a live stream VOD is like similar to what Boblax will get on some of these Twitterversus videos. Holy shit, dude. Like 19k views in 5 hours is probably bigger than Boblax's whole day. Oh, 10k in 7 days. What a pathetic fucking person. Okay, sorry. Back to the segment. My bad. Just had to go on a Boblaxian rant right there. What else do we want to talk about here? I've got some current events. We covered this in the stream. Denim's grifting with that lawsuit. I don't think this is grifting. I mean, she definitely put something in here where she'd have to give the money back. I think she's delusional. I don't think that she's doing this to pocket money from people. I think that's too stupid for somebody to do. I would be shocked. I'll have my Fell for It Again award if that is the case. I think she's delusional. I don't think she's like intentionally going out to scam people. Denim's offers an ominous warning for AB. I saw this one. This is like weird. It sounds like she's about to start critiquing his posture.
You want funny things? I'll give you stuff to laugh about, dude.
That is like the most... That is a straight up threat. Like, what... What did AV do that would warrant this threat?
You want funny things? I'll give you stuff to laugh about, dude. I've got a lot of jokes about you. And if that's the road you want to take, we can go down that road, man. We can go down that road.
Oh, not that one. Oh, it's on this window.
You don't want the smoke, man. You don't.